Welcome to Recast. This is episode number 3. We are presented to you by nobody, by the Movie Hero Network, I guess you could say. We're not New Line, but that's a little fun little like quick little tribute I found for that. And yeah, I'm not gonna get into the history of it, but I read the whole history of how no other movie studio would take Lord of the Rings when Peter Jackson was first shopping it around, but then New Line bought it, and that was pretty cool. And they got like one of the best movies ever made in their library. So, but yeah, I am your host. I am Jordan, the Movie Hero Anderson, or Movie Hero the Brave today. And yeah, we're doing just what the title says. We'll be recasting the Fellowship from the Lord of the Rings. So there's only 3 of us today because we're going to be doing 11 characters, and so it's going to be a little longer for that. And I got I got to make sure that I have my handy dandy notebook, as they say on Blue's Clues. I gotta have that so I can keep track of all my the votes and everything. And so yeah, but I am joined by a couple of big time Lord of the Rings fans. So we'll go to Wolfman first. How's it going, Wolfman?
Megovanen Manenkai. That is Sindarin Elvish for hi, welcome. How are you doing?
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm not that nerdy. I'm a big like Lord of the Rings. I'm a Star Trek fan. I haven't learned like Klingon or like Elvish or any of that, but maybe someday. But
just
fun to learn a few phrases.
Just for anyone who knows,
that is cool though.
But just for anyone who knows, though, after I say Manenkai, which is how are you, you would respond with M Marie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's M Marie which is I'm good.
So nice, so, nice, yeah. Cool. Well, that's awesome. And then we're also joined by Mr. Peter Jackson himself, or his twin, look like Mr. Malcolm Lay. How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, my cast has been perfect. Like, I've already casted the whole movie once before, so recasting it is easy.
Oh, nice. And
oh yeah.
And we'll say that for whatever reason, like a lot of the deep fakes that I pulled, like don't look a whole lot like it, except for weirdly Malcolm's. Like the deep fake for a lot of yours actually look quite a bit like the character, but it's just how the AI app that I was using, how it just came out that way. But for anyone tuning in, yeah, we're just gonna go around the horn, and we're all gonna give our casting choice. You can have a quick little argument. Maybe
I'm the only one wearing a Middle Earth shirt. How dare you?
Oh, nice. Well, if I had a Middle Earth shirt, I need to get one, but so I went with Spider-Man because I'm a Spider-Man guy. But yeah, we're all gonna vote, and then we're gonna rank all the casting choices from 1 to 3, 1 being our top choice, and then so on and so forth, and then whichever one has the lowest score will be our definitive recasting. And also, I do have to say apologies. I haven't gotten our last Aliens one up. The Back to the Future one's up for recasting. And so if you want to go over to the Showdown Friends and Family, you can go and vote and see what you think of our casting choices there. So I will be doing that this week, getting both of these up there so you can vote on who you think had the best casting choices and what you think of it overall. I'm just going to grab a pen that's sitting on my desk. Keep track of all these scores.
Yeah, apparently Brian says the Aliens one got blocked.
Oh, yeah. So got blocked, but I went and I fixed it. I don't know exactly what they took out, because YouTube has an option to automatically take out whatever the copyright is. So hopefully it didn't take out too much of it, but I just I saw that it was blocked. So it's back up there now, which I may have a lot less clips, but that's fine. I mean, if that happens to us, we'll have to cut out the clips, but hopefully not, because the clips are a lot of fun. So yeah, but I imagine. Well, I'm hoping not, because a lot of the clips that just come from other YouTube channels. So it's just if the YouTube channel itself wants to do that. Usually, like local YouTube channels tend to not do it. I want to give a.
I mean, it could also be that Aliens is technically owned by Disney. And oh no,
yeah,
that's true.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, the copyright claim was from Disney specifically. So yeah,
and when we did our holiday special drinking game, it was all right to pretty much show the movie, but because that animated portion is on Disney Plus, they they blocked it because the animation, the animated portion. Yeah.
Okay, well, usually if you just go into your YouTube studio, you can just choose to cut out whatever the block part is. Like one time we had one because it showed like a 1 second little clip of Kung Fu Panda, literally for 1 second, and it got blocked. And so I just had to take that out, and we were good. So it's kind of crazy how that works. But I wanted to find really quick so there's a YouTube channel where I pulled most of the video clips. I just want to shout them out. The YouTube channel is called Media Record, MEDERECORD. So Media Record did most of them, not all the clips, but the majority of them. So go, I check them out. They do some really cool stuff with like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, like a lot of tribute clips to like characters and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. So I didn't have to look too far because most of them were there. He didn't have one for every character, but a good chunk of them. So
nice.
So yeah, but we'll just go.
Which we just have to throw out there. This is honestly maybe the greatest ensemble ever put to film. So like,
oh yeah.
So even though we're recasting this, it is like we are saying it's hard because just how good the cast initially was. Malcolm's twin brother did an exceptional job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like it's going to be insanely difficult, especially there's a couple like for me in particular the Gollum recasting because Andy Serkis is just hard to replace him as a mocap actor. So
they have I'm listening for the upteenth time now to Lord of the Rings on the audiobook. And apparently I didn't know that Audible had an Andy Serkis read Lord of the Rings version. So like Andy Serkis reads awesome. It. He's doing the voices and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So
I gotta check that one out for sure. Yeah, because I've read. I don't think that I've read all the books. I read The Hobbit. I think I read like The Fellowship. I think that's the only two that I've read. So
I've read the main ones. I've read the main ones, but I just haven't gotten around to reading stuff like The Silmarillion just because it's so big.
Yeah, right.
and dense and other things like that. But I plan
to. Yeah, but we'll go ahead and we'll jump into it. So we're gonna kind of start what I kind of thought were like the lowest like least like of importance to maybe more in importance to as far as the like journey and the fellowship. So I mean, not everyone might agree with me, but the first one I chose to start was Boromir. I mean, he is pretty important because they all are, but I just figured that would be a good place to start. So.
Especially if because when we were talking in the group chat, we were talking about the trilogy as a whole, because I combine it as one story. If I watch one, I have to watch the others pretty much. So we're talking about pretty much everyone in the whole trilogy. It makes sense because he's really only prominent in that first film. So
yeah, right. And also too, we decided that we weren't really going to focus on one individual movie because essentially they're all filmed back to back, and they essentially have mostly the same cast throughout, maybe minus Boromir, but like essentially the same. So we're just doing the Lord of the Rings overall as a trilogy. We're not focusing on the Hobbit or any of the other movies like that, but just the Lord of the Rings trilogy is what it will be.
Yeah. So. I mean, you could do the Hobbit as its own episode.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, you could because they have enough with all the dwarves and all that stuff. Like,
yeah. I mean, part of the reason I made that argument is like it will save you time, like having to do like multiple episodes of Lord of the Rings, having different recasts of the same character.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because as you might see, I even borrowed one of my picks from the Hobbit movie, but cast him as a different character. So you'll see. We allowed for that. We didn't allow to pull the same character. You can't like pull Orlando Bloom and then make him Legolas again or something like that. You can't do that. But yeah. So
and you can't be like, oh, but because Orlando Bloom's in the Hobbit, I'm gonna say he's right.
Yeah, that's kind of like a cheat, sort of. But yeah. So we're gonna start with Boromir and before we get started, I'm just going to read down everyone we're going to be recasting. We got 11, and this will be the order we're going to go in. So we got Boromir, Merry and Pippin, Saruman, Gimli, Legolas, Aragorn, Gollum, Gandalf, Sam, and Frodo. So
okay, So I have to stop you right there. You just called him Aragon. All right, it's Aragorn.
Oh, Gorn. Okay,
Aragon. All right, that's a totally different franchise. And
I've never really been like 100% sure, but it's actually Aragorn. Okay, I want to make sure I get it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Or we just call him Strider if we want to make it easier. You know.
That's true. That's also a Strider.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'll give my pick first, and who I chose for my Boromir pick because I'm fresh off of seeing Next Goal Wins, and he did an amazing job. So I went with Michael Fassbender for my pick. So I thought that like he'd be a pretty great Boromir. I think that like he has the acting chops for sure, but like he's not someone. I mean, he is like an A-list actor, but he's not someone that's like so A-list that would like kind of like take the focus off the main characters. I think that he could do a pretty good job at kind of blending in a little bit, and I feel like he'd make a good warrior too. So if you look at what the AI did, I mean, it kind of looks like him, sort of. So yeah, so not all these are going to look like him. Just blame the AI, but yeah. So my first pick is Boromir Michael Fassbender for Boromir. Sorry. Yeah. But Wolf, who do you have?
So what's funny is when I was doing my research on this, because I watched other people do other sort of recastings to get inspiration off of what I was going to pick, and there was one person that actually said Michael Fassbender is Aragorn, which was an interesting pick. So
nice.
But
actually could work for that. Yeah.
I could also see something like that. But for me, I went with Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
And the reason I picked Liev Schreiber is because he's the type of actor that can have a warmth to him, as you've seen in some of the Scream movies, like in Scream 2 especially, when he's like that, trying to have that, you know, warm heart and that like remorse, but then he can also be a badass, as we've seen in the Wolverine movies, and such like that. He can be that badass character, warrior, and everything like that. That's just really, really good. And he can also, I feel like he would be able to play off the whole like being tempted by the ring super well. Like I feel like he's got the acting chops, and I feel like he would be able to pull that off really, really well. So that's why I'm going with Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, sounds good. And then I'll show you what the AI did for Liev Schreiber as Boromir. And kind of see there.
See, that was
not too bad. I think that like the top left kind of looks the most like him. Maybe I don't know, but
I don't know. I think the AI is Boromir kind of looks a bit like Eric.
I know, yeah, it actually does. Well, to be fair, that a lot of these just ended up up looking like just like a generic kind of like Middle Earth warrior sort of thing. But yeah, but yeah. So Malcolm, who do you have for your Boromir pick?
I mean, for my Boromir, I wanted to pick someone that like I do think is a good actor. He hasn't really done a lot of movies. I don't expect no one to have heard him because he's a New Zealand actor. But it's also like because Boromir is one of those characters that is only in the one movie and like gets killed off. Like I didn't think a big name person would probably be the right choice. Because Sean Bean was a well-known name at the time he was cast. I don't think it was a big household name, so to speak. But yeah, I went with Michael Galvin, and I don't expect anyone to know him because he's a New Zealand actor. He was in a TV show here called Corner Street, but he's one of those ones. I think he is just like I kind of want to see him doing something different. He's one of those ones that is really stern and all that in there, and yeah, but yeah, I wanted to cast New Zealand actor in something, and Barber is one place I thought, I could cast him as like,
yeah. And it makes sense to have at least one actor in here actually from New Zealand, since like that's where the whole movies are filmed and all that. So yeah, and then I can pull up what the AI kind of plugged him in as.
That actually looks the most like him right there.
To be fair though, yeah, like it actually looks just like Boromir. It almost doesn't even look like it. like Michael Galvin too much. It just looks like straight up like Boromir. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So there you go. Yeah, and then Brian in the chat, he said you could see Henry Cavill. He was one that was like an honorable mention for me. I actually did have him as an honorable mention, but yeah, actually for Boromir, yeah. So, so now you're gonna give a quick ranking. Just rank them 1 to 3, with 1 being the highest, and then 3 being your lowest pick, and then I'll go around the horn and we'll get some scores. So let me do mine real quick.
And I have the movie on in the background. And so
nice.
I'm enjoying it for the
there you go.
50th time.
Yeah, right. For the 100th time. Yeah, like I was tempted to have some of my siblings on this, because all my siblings are massive Lord of the Rings fan. Like especially 2 of my brothers. They went opening night to every premiere. They all dressed up. They had fun with it. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but we'll go to my picks first. So I just have one for Michael Fassbender. I can just see him like the most as like the kind of warrior type that can like fight alongside them and be like a good asset to him. But you know, I'm always have to go with your own first, which you'll see. I probably won't the whole way through, because I've seen some of your guys' picks, and I'm like, dang, that's a good call. But for my number 2, I have Liev Schreiber, just because I think that the kind of, how you say, like he has the kind of the warrior, but then like the softness too, and that kind of can do the Temptation of the Ring pretty well probably. And then Michael Galvin, I'm just not as familiar with him, so it's just kind of hard to really say too much. But it's cool that he's from New Zealand. I do like that. But Wolf, what do you say? What are your rankings?
So my rankings are going to be number 2. I'm going to set, or number, I mean number, not number 3. I'll start off with 2. Number 3 is actually going to be Michael Fassbender.
In a weird order.
Because Michael Fassbender is, and all these are really good choices, by the way. I'm not knocking on any choices at all. These are all really good. But like, I feel like when I heard him as Aragorn, I feel like that would be a little bit of a better choice for Michael Fassbender, I feel, than Boromir personally. And because Boromir has to have a little bit of a connivingness to him. He's not evil by any means, but he has to have a little bit of a, I don't know what you would call it, but I feel like I feel like something like that. And I feel like Michael Fassbender fits more with the Aragorn type. And then for number 2, man, I'm having a hard time here, because as far as looks wise goes, Michael Galvin actually looked exactly like Boromir and AI. But when it came to he's
pretty spot on. I just want to throw that up again.
But
he looks like it,
when it comes to who I think would like, well, you know what? I'll do it just because he is a New Zealand actor, and you should have at least a New Zealand actor in a Lord of the Rings movie. I will go 2 Liev Schreiber, and then 1 is Michael Galvin. So,
ooh, nice. Yeah, and sounds good. And then Malcolm, what are your rankings?
Yeah. I mean, for me, my number 3, Michael Fassbender. Purely because, like, if it was made today, I think he's too big a name to be Boromir for someone who's going to be killed off in the first act of a trilogy.
Yeah.
For number 2, and I also had the same sort of tough time with these 2. But ultimately, I went number 2, Liev Schreiber, and I stuck with my own pick for number 1 because the AI kind of convinced me on my own pick.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, every time that I would think of an actor to recast for Boromir, I'd be like, crap. Like that would also be like a really good one for Aragorn. Shoot, like I don't know which one to put them as. You know, they're kind of like slightly interchangeable, sort of. But yeah, with that, I think it's going to be Michael Galvin. That's the lowest score. So we got a New Zealand actor in there.
It was the one I wasn't sure was going to be tapping.
Someone that no one's really ever heard of, but hey, I love giving those other actors a chance. You know, those actors.
Yeah, right.
Smaller.
Well, it makes sense that like for a character, that's killed off in in the first movie, maybe like a lesser known actor. So yeah.
Yeah. Although was Sean Bean kind of more lesser known when he was in Fellowship of the Ring?
I mean, I don't know how well known he was because, like around the time when they were probably casting Lord of the Rings, like I think the one big thing I can think he was in was Golden. I want to think that say there was the Bond movie he was in.
Yeah, he's in GoldenEye. Right?
Yep. But I can't
006.
think of anything big he would have been in around that time for him to be a big name.
Yeah, right.
True. Because now we think of him as a big name, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can see that.
Well, maybe GoldenEye was like the start of when he started dying and everything. I don't know that like his whole entire history even in movies, but that and then and obviously Lord of the Rings, all of that. But I need to look really quick.
Whoa, Malcolm, you just popped up in this movie. Because of the Peter Jackson cameo.
I need to look and see. One of my pictures, I don't think loaded, and I do think that it's the only one on this whole thing. So let me load it really quick because I don't know why it's not there. Because I was about to say my next pick. The next one will be Mary, is what we're gonna go with next. Mary Brandybuck, or I don't know how to say it. His like original first name, Duke or something.
Meridoc.
Yeah. So give me one quick second because I want to bring up the picture. I have the AI, but let me see. Should be able to get it pretty quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment when I was recasting this. It was it was starting to look like I was just swapping one big franchise for another at one point.
Yeah, right. Because there's a couple of fantasy franchises out there that you could just pull right from either one. So
I literally pulled like 2 Game of Thrones actors from Game of Thrones and put them into Lord of the Rings. So I was like, hey,
yeah, there's like Game of Thrones, there's Harry Potter you can pull from. There's a lot of stuff. So, but I got my picture. So my pick for Mary, and you'll see why in a little bit, but why, like even more so, why I picked him when we go to some other characters. But I have Simon Pegg for mine because, but to be fair though I'm going with a younger Simon Pegg. So think of Simon Pegg back in the day when he was maybe like in his early 20s. I didn't have a good picture though that I could find from when he was younger, but like I think that like he just brings the kind of like the sweetness and the kindness kind of thing and the humor, but then also just a little bit of some toughness in there too. But kind of like Marion is the pretty kind of like slightly bumbling character sort of. I mean, but then finds like his inner strength in that. So I thought he was a pretty good pick. And in the AI, I tried to have AI do a younger Simon Pegg. I mean, with like the like curlier hair and the younger looking one, so you can kind of see a little bit. So that's kind of what the AI came up with for Simon Pegg for Mary. So yeah, but Wolf, what do you have for your Mary?
So my pick for Mary is another actor that's kind of lesser known. We just did one, Michael Galvin. Now I'm going to do one that he's lesser known, but y'all have seen him from a movie that has made it pretty big on tournament fights a lot of times, and that is 1917. And this guy is his name is Dean Charles Chapman.
There he is.
And he, I feel, would be a really good Mary because he's not only got the, like, if you've watched some clips from 1917, he's got that brashness that Mary has, but then also in Game of Thrones, he's got that kind of innocence that Mary has as well too, and could capture that really, really well. So and sort of the bumblingness and of Mary as well too, because of just some of the mistakes that he makes in 1917 and all that, and just the way that I really feel that he has the acting chops for it, and I really feel like he would just I wanted to pick someone who, when you look at him too, you can kind of underestimate them because he's kind of a badass, Mary is, but it's like, he's underestimated in the movies because it's like, oh, he doesn't really look like a badass, so that's what I wanted to go with, and that's why I chose Dean Charles Chapman.
Well, like, funny enough, one of my alternates, I had George McKay, also from 1917.
I was actually contemplating him too. I literally was swapping back and forth between the 1917 boys on which one I was going to pick.
To be fair, you could have gone with both of them from Mary and Pippin, and it could have worked probably. So yeah, but I was going to throw out Brian in the chat. He had, for the last pick, he had a Fassbender at 3. Then he had Liev Schreiber for 2. So we also had Michael Galvin for 1.
Oh, I didn't think about Joe Keery. That's a good pick for Mary.
Yeah. So for Mary, he said Joe Keery. Like, for some reason, I thought about him. I almost thought about him for Frodo, maybe, but like I just wasn't sure. I don't know, because I still think of him from like Stranger Things, being like the kind of bully, but then like he has a soft heart and like a change. But then he's also been in some other things. He was in Free Guys, like the tech nerd. He's been in a few things, but and then I'll throw up the AI. What AI came up for Dean Charles Chapman for Mary. That's kind of like the
that's not bad actually.
So it's not too bad. So yeah. So, but Malcolm, who do you have for?
It's like Mary? A baby Mary.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's for me. This was tough, and for me, I thought, well, like Mary Pippin, like are a good double act. And I think you can know I'm going for Pippin when I say that my pick for Mary is James Phelps. One half the Weasley twins on Harry Potter. It's just one of those ones because I do think the characters of the Weasley twins is pretty similar to like dynamic between Mary and Pippin have, and even when they essentially like get separated, like they do bring out the badness and there as well. And I think that kind of duality I think would work if they were Mary and Pippin as well.
Yeah, so write that, James Phelps. All right, and then I'll throw up what the AI did for James Phelps as Mary. Is kind of interesting, but did it with like some hats on and stuff.
Yeah, oh my gosh, the last one looks like freaking supermodel.
I know, yeah.
He's like she's a cover girl.
So really, it doesn't really look too much like James Phelps, but I don't know. So it's kind of funny. But yeah. But yes, we can go ahead and we can give a quick ranking to the 3 of those, and it's kind of interesting because they were starting out with some characters that I had a tougher time, and
this is the hardest one for me, honestly. Mary was.
Yeah. So this is gonna be interesting for me. But I think though, like if you saw who all of us had for Pippin, maybe it might be an easier choice because they kind of go hand in hand. But All right, so I think I got mine. So funny enough, for my number 1, I have James Phelps for my number 1 because I've actually met them. James and Michael Phelps, they're awesome. And then I got to go up on stage at a convention, like ask them a question about what movies they would like to be in someday, and they just gave their fantasy, like they said either a Western or a sci-fi if they could ever do it. So that'd be cool. But and then for my number 2, I think I have Dean Charles Chapman. I think because I think that's a pretty good pick, and it's just hard because I have Simon Pegg for number 3, and I'm just thinking of a younger Simon Pegg, but it's hard to really like imagine him too young. But I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, he was acting, I think, since like his 20s, I think so. So yeah, but yeah, so that's my order. But Wolf, what do you have for yours?
So for my number 3, I'm also going to go Simon Pegg. I really like the feel of him in the role, but I also just feel like he's a little too I don't want to say a little too happy. It's like it's weird. I don't know how you would describe it, but it's like because I feel like Mary has to have a toughness to him and everything like that. Because he's got
He's
that
a little grit to him.
because he's got that Pippin. You never know, Pippin, stuff like that. And he's like
right,
and the stuff that he like whenever he talks about, and then Pippin's like that little innocent one carrying the corner. So
yeah.
Well,
I love Don Monahan in the role though. Like I always watch their podcast all the time, and then I was a big fan of him on Lost and stuff. So yeah.
And now the only reason why I loved even Ross, when I reached out to Ross about Merry and Pippin, even he said James Phelps and Oliver Phelps. Because even he was like, yeah, those two is what I would pick.
Yeah.
And I love those choices. The only reason why I didn't go with them was because Merry and Pippin aren't twins. So that's the only reason why, because
they're not related.
Because there's Pippin, Took, and Mary Brandybuck, so they're not even really related to one another.
Yeah,
but they're just really, really close friends. So that's why I have 2 James Phelps and then 1 Dean Charles Chapman, just because I think that would be such a really good opportunity for an actor like him to be in a franchise like this, and to also just he's got the innocence, the acting chops, he's got the like kind of leadership, take charge kind of thing to him, because Mary has that in Return of the King. So there's a lot to Charles Dean Chapman I like for the choice. So I'll go.
Yeah, because in 1917, when they kill off Dean Charles Chapman's character when he finally dies, I'm like pretty sad. I'm like, oh man, I really like that guy. He's like probably my favorite in the movie. Now he's gone. So yeah, but Malcolm, what do you have for your rankings?
For me, I put Dean Charles Chapman at 3. I just need to see more of him.
Yeah.
I'm not overly familiar with him as an actor aside from 1917. For number 2, I put Simon Pegg, just because I do think like he is a good pick, and I think he would give out that same kind of dominant Monahan, Billy Boyd type energy. And then by number 1, I went James Phelps, and I didn't cast him because of the twins. It was more of a case of I think that I didn't want the Phelps to be typecast as twins all their life, so it was like having them getting the chance to be separated with be 2 distinct characters. I think could help broaden their own horizons as actors.
Yeah, that makes sense. And with makeup, you probably could make one look different than
exactly. I mean, like, and it's one of those ones like even Lord of the Rings, like Mary Pippin kind of still look at the same as it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So yeah. So with that, the based on the scores, it'll be James Phelps. So you got another one, Malcolm. so there you go.
Nice.
So yeah, not a bad pick. So yeah, I like that pick. So and of course after Mary, we got to move into
I will say personality wise, like, because that's what Ross was telling me too. He's like, personality wise, they both fit the pranksters of Mary and Pippin, because the lighting off the fireworks, those kind of people to do something like that. So they literally lit off fireworks, I think, in Harry Potter too. So it's like,
yep, exactly. Yeah. yep. So, but with Mary, got to go with Pippin. Pippin Took will be the next one. Famously played by Billy Boyd, and Billy Boyd, he's awesome. Like, I've always wished that we could adopt him here in America, because I just think he is so just charming and just a really cool person. Because like watching his podcast, and there's a scene, I think it's like in maybe two towers where it's just him sitting like just overlooking all of like the like area and just like kind of legend. You see his head popping up and he's talking to Gandalf and just asking him questions and stuff. And like I just like, man, like he looks adorable right there. Like I want to adopt him. Like come on. so yeah, but yeah. So we got Pippin, and I'm gonna start out with my pick for Pippin. Let me see. And of course, I mean, you can't have Simon Pegg without his other counterpart. They're in everything together, and you just got to think of a younger one, which you'll see from the AI that I pulled. But I have Nick Frost in there just because I think that like they can play so well off of each other, and that's kind of why I picked both of them, because I think just one by themselves and then have them paired with somebody else maybe it wouldn't work so well, but just having the two of them together, just like they're best friends in real life. They have some of the most amazing chemistry. They just work really well, and I think maybe even more so. Nick Frost may have a little more of a toughness to him and then but he also has the kind of playfulness and like the innocence that he can pull off too. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick Frost for my pick. So, and I'm gonna look at what the AI. Oh, and also let's see. Oh no, never mind. For some reason I forgot. I thought I forgot to show one of the AIs last round, but I showed them all. Okay, cool. So this is what the AI did for Nick Frost. You can kind of see him as like a little younger. For some reason they did him by a car, like a sports car. I don't know why they did that. Even though I put
it's a high school photo right there.
Yeah, right. Because I put Nick Frost as Pippin Took from Lord of the Rings, and that's what it came up with for one of them. Was by a sports car, kind of weird, but so and then he has like some kind of like Middle Earth looking boots or something weird. so yeah, but that's my pick. But Wolf, what do you have for your pick?
So the thing about the Pippin character that we have to understand is that he's got a toughness to him and a will to like a strive and a will to like fight and all that, and like that's very respectable. But he's also got the bumbling idiot part of him. He's got this innocent childlike figure. That's the thing. He very much looks like a kid in a way. Like he's got very much of an innocence to him. And so the actor that I chose for that to capture that innocence is Tom Holland.
Yeah. So I try to find one that like look kind of similar.
Yeah, wow, that's actually perfect right there. That's like a lot like what I would imagine Pippin as. Yeah. And I just think like he would be able to do the little prankster type thing of lighting the fireworks off really quickly, and then he would be able to have those emotional moments that we've seen from like Spider-Man, like crying over Aunt May in No Way Home. We could get to see that, but him crying when he thinks Gandalf is dead, or him crying when he thinks Frodo is dead, or something like that, and Return of the King. So like you could capture those emotional moments really, really well with Tom Holland, and then he has that. Even though he's like 30 something, he looks like a kid. It's insane. He's like, but he's got that childlike innocence to him and warmth to him that I think would just really fit the Pippin character. So I'm going with Tom Holland as my pick.
He's actually only 27 years old now. So.
27. Okay, but still close to 30. And he looks like he's like 18, 19. He looks really young. He's like,
yeah, so you can get a look of what the AI did for Tom Holland as Pippin. So, kind of see him. Yeah. I mean, like a little bit in there. I don't know if it looks quite like Tom Holland, but it looks a lot like Pippin.
What's funny is the last photo you showed actually looked more like Pippin.
yeah, right.
The AI did. It's like that photo right there. Looks more like Pippin than the AI that he showed.
I think that like Tom Holland had like one movie where like he was in like medieval times or something that I can't remember what it was though, but he had something like that. So yeah, but Malcolm, who do you have for your Pippin?
I mean, for me, Oliver Phelps for obvious reasons. Like I said it all with James. I think it's just once again I think the whole bumbling idiot thing, I think really works. And I think, even the Reezy twins have had their bit of emotional times as well, and I do think that it definitely can work, and I think it's just one that you do need it doesn't because I think the reason Billy Boyd and Dominant Mindhand worked well together is because they were friends and that, and I think, which is why I kind of think the Phelps twins would be just as about pretty much the same. I think they will work quite well. I don't think and yeah.
Yeah, and like not only like I mean in in real life and Harry Potter they play siblings, but I mean in the movies though they're like I mean even siblings aside they're best friends too. So I think even if they weren't siblings, they'd still be best friends and all that. So yeah. So but we can take a look at what they did with Oliver Phelps as Pippin for the AI. It's a little different than Mary, you know. So, but
actually looks a little bit more like someone out of Harry Potter there for just a little bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, almost like
so,
he has a wand in like one of them.
He's got a wand in one of his. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but it's just gonna get Brian for Pippin. Brian had Freddie Highmore. I saw that pick, but like I wasn't totally sold on it. So, but
there was one that I saw someone recast. I forget his name, but he was from that one movie Yellow Submarine and a few other stuff like that. He's like a British actor, but I was like looking at him, and then they did an AI of him as Pippin. I was like, oh dang! I was like, okay, I should have chosen him.
Like
and
Brian also says that the AI of Tom Holland looks just like Jack Dylan Grazer, which actually he would have been a great pick for one of them too, especially after the last Shazam movie. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, so we can go ahead and we can give a quick ranking and we'll tally up the votes. Let's see. This one's actually kind of tough. All right, so I have mine, but it's kind of very nitpicky because I think they'd all be great. But so for my number one, I actually put. I mean, if we're gonna have James Phelps, let's just have Oliver Phelps. I feel like. I mean,
yeah,
this
rate is like a default. You know.
Yeah, right. But also, I do think that like he'd be like a perfect pick. When I saw that Malcolm had picked the Phelps twins, I was like, dang it! Like because I was busy prepping for a bunch of other shows on the channel, so I didn't have time to make my picks until a little later. I'm like shoot, like you already took them because like I kind of thought about those, but and then for number two, I actually have Nick Frost because I feel like if you had him as like a younger and Nick Frost, like he has a little bit of toughness in him, but he has more of the kind of humor and the bumbling idiot kind of stuff to him also, and I think he could do it really well and just have an innocent. And like really for Tom Holland, like he's really close. I just think maybe he's like too good looking. Like he's just more, I don't know. Like he's like too much of a pretty boy for me. So that's just kind of my little nitpick on it. So yeah, but he has like all the acting chops to pull it off for sure.
I mean, Billy Boyd and Dominant Mindhand are really good looking men. So I mean,
that is true. It is true. But like I say, those are like just being very nitpicky.
And also, I'll go talking about my choice right now. So number three, I'm going to have as Nick Frost. I like your Simon Pegg pick as Mary. I don't really like your Nick Frost pick as Pippin. I'm sorry. And I was saying this is the reason why. I can understand what you're saying about them working well together and like all that stuff like that. That does fit. And he's got the bumbling idiot parts to him. But I just don't really see an innocence there like you do. And I also don't see like Pippin is a very emotional character. That's the thing. A very emotional, a very sensitive character. And I feel like emotional and sensitive, doesn't really come across a Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost or that kind of a person. I was like, so that's why
really any of his movies are not like that emotional,
So So that's
Flock, Paul, and
yeah. So that's why my number 3 is Nick Frost, and then my number 2, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win one of these. All right, because there are some choices in here that I know I'm pretty much gonna win. But
same here. I got one.
I will go with Tom Holland, and then I will go with the Oliver Phelps, because I'm now kicking myself that I didn't choose him. But
yeah,
I was thinking about it. But I'm
pretty much a shoe-in. Yeah.
Myself, yeah.
Yeah, but Malcolm, who do you, or what are your rankings?
Yeah, for me, my number 3, I went Nick Frost. I really don't see Pippin going, how's that for a slice of fried gold and stuff like that?
Yeah, right.
I like Nick Frost. I do think him and Son Peak have a great companionship, but I think in the case of, I just don't think he works for Pippin. I can see him as a different character in Lord of the Rings. But yeah, and my number 2 went Tom Holland, and number 1 Oliver Phelps.
All right, sounds good. So it'll be Oliver Phelps. We got the Phelps twins from Merry and Pippin, which makes sense. so yeah. And then I'm just gonna Brian, he put his also as Nick Frost for number 3, Tom Holland number 2, and then Oliver Phelps number 1. So he's pretty much right on with you guys. And then we'll go to our next one. So up next, we are going to be doing Lord Saruman for the next one. So
this is one of the ones I'm confident in.
Ooh. Same here. I'm actually pretty confident in mine too. So we'll see. Maybe we're all confident, but for mine, I just think that it's like kind of like a shoo-in, and actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but the pick you had, Wolf, I actually had in it as like my alternate pick because it's a pretty good one. But I just think that like he's played amazing villains before, and like he just continues to do it, and I think he could do it like amazingly well. Like the more and more I see of him, he's just getting like better and better of an actor. But I went with Ralph Fiennes for mine. So, and I think that he can just play the villains so well. I mean, you see with Lord Voldemort, you see with the Menu, you see with the bunch of now I'm like spacing on the like Nazi one, Spielberg one. Yeah. Schindler's List. Yeah, for some reason I can think of that. But yeah. So like he plays great villain, and I just think that there's also I just see him like with the big robes on that Saruman has, or Christopher Lee, and just kind of running around shooting off spells, doing all that because he literally like does like that in Harry Potter. So I mean, so I think that's a pretty easy pick. So yeah, I got Ralph Fiennes, and then you can see what the AI had for Ralph Fiennes here. That he's plugged him in there, and he looks quite a bit like him. So I think that's pretty uncanny. So, but we'll go to Wolf.
Talking about someone who looks just like him, as I watch this movie again, literally as I'm rewatching it, he looks like now and almost like his age now when you see him. He looks a little bit like how Christopher Lee looked in this movie. And I'm going to go with someone who has also been in some fantasy franchises. He was in Dungeons and Dragons. Oh yeah, the original Dungeons and Dragons. He was also the masterpiece. He was also in Aragon, another masterpiece.
Another one, yeah.
But I'm going with Jeremy Irons. I just think that he would fit super well. Yeah, and as I'm rewatching this movie, just the eyes and everything looks just like Christopher Lee at where he's at here in Lord of the Rings. It's like it's kind of uncanny as I rewatch it. It's like kind of crazy. But Jeremy Irons, I just think he has the voice, the menacing voice. That's one thing. The deep voice to really sound like Saruman and really sound threatening. He's got the
his voice is Scar. So if you
acting, his voice is Scar. Just think of that just as Saruman. That would just be so good. And then he's got the acting chops, of course, and he's played villains before, and he's played villains exceptionally well. So I think Jeremy Irons would be the perfect choice to play Saruman. So.
Yeah, sounds good. And then we'll take a look at what the AI plugged in for Jeremy Irons as Saruman. I mean, it looks pretty close.
Yes,
It's almost just like Christopher Lee. So
yeah.
yeah, so there you go. If you look really closely, you can see like the essence of like Jeremy Irons kind of in there. If you really look at the face and the eyes and stuff. So and even the mouth, I think they all kind of look like him. But Malcolm, who do you have for your Lord Sauron pick?
Yeah. So I had a tough job. I thought about messaging Drew and go, is it cheating to just take someone who's in the franchise but as a different character? Because I was considering Ian McKellen at one point.
Right.
Because it's one of those ones like I was thinking like, well, Christopher Lee's a very Shakespearean type actor. You can definitely see that shine in Saruman. So I went with.
Which, by the way, I hate to interrupt, but I wanted to throw that into my argument. Thank you for saying that. Jeremy Irons also is a Shakespearean actor. Just wanted to.
I didn't say he wasn't.
No. I'm not saying you. No, I'm not saying he was. I just wanted to like throw that out. Once you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, that's another thing because Saruman is kind of a Shakespearean kind of character. So that's
But for me, I ultimately decided to go with someone else who was also not. No stranger to franchises in there. I went with Sir Patrick Stewart.
That's and
someone with a beard that I could pull.
And it's just like I think he's got that like voice of like that slow, careful. Like hasn't really played villains so much. I think he's only really been in one that A24 movie, the Green Room or
the Green Room, yeah.
But I think like with the right material and especially something like Lord of the Rings, I think he could shine as a villain. I think he could definitely work. I mean, look, I was tossing out between Patrick Stewart for either for a different character. And but like ultimately decided to sit there because I thought
so instead of going Ian McKellen, you went Ian McKellen's best friend.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, I actually initially, what's interesting is before I tested Jordan my picks for Gandalf, I actually had Patrick Stewart as Gandalf because I was like, oh yeah, Patrick Stewart would also I think really
would be a pretty good one, yeah.
Because I've seen him more as a good guy, so I think he would be a really great Gandalf, but.
Yeah, we'll see. When it comes to Gandalf, I went back and forth between about 3 or 4 different people that would be perfect for it, but we'll see. But yeah, so we can go ahead and we can give a quick ranking to the 3 of those. And man, this one's tough because they're all really good picks. But
yeah, this is easily like the hardest one so far.
Yeah. All right. I think I got mine, and then Brian said that he could see Terrence Stamp maybe doing it, which that actually worked because I think Terrence Stamp, speaking of Patrick Stewart, he was a villain in Star Trek Generations, I believe. So he played the villain. So yeah, so he's done it. But I got mine. So for mine, I had for my number 3, I didn't just have Patrick Stewart, even though I love Patrick Stewart. I almost see him more in the Gandalf role. That's just kind of like kind of where I see him more. But and then number 2, I have Jeremy Irons because literally if I wouldn't have picked Ralph Fiennes, that I would have gone with Jeremy Irons. He was my number 2 pick. So and then I have Ralph Fiennes at number 1 because you've seen him play all kinds of different villains and he's so good at it. Like so. I mean, even though I kind of think that Jeremy Irons does kind of have the look maybe just slightly more, I just think that like Ralph Fiennes can just transform into like anyone. Like he's just that good at it. So yeah, those are my.
I mean, hey, I'd also argue that Jeremy Irons can transform into anyone. He's that good of an actor as well. But
true.
Yeah, he's
also too.
one of our best of all time.
we've seen Jeremy Irons play too many good guys too, so I'm kind of like I can't quite put him there. So yeah, like playing Alfred or other things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he has played villains for like in the Watchmen series and a few other things like
yeah.
that. So he has played villains a few times.
Yeah, but
and Scar, of course. You know,
yeah,
that's an iconic villain.
What would your pick be, Wolf?
So yeah, so for me, I'm going to go number 3 as well, Patrick Stewart. I love Patrick Stewart as an actor, but again, I just feel he's got that warmth of Gandalf more than he's got like any like kind of mischievous bones.
Yeah.
When I think of him, like I don't think of you as like an evil person. So that's why
I didn't even really like mischief. Really like when you think about it, I don't know if he seems like the guy that does.
So that's why I'm gonna go with Well, before this, we've seen Christopher Lee play Dracula, so we know he could be like. But I'm going. So that I'm gonna have him number 3. Number 2, I really like your pick, so I'm gonna go Ralph Fiennes because I think Ray Fiennes is like he would be my runner-up as well. Probably he's got the really good acting chops. He's got Voldemort and some other like Schindler's List, other villains that he's played really well. But for me, just when it comes to the look, and not just the look, but that voice, oh Gandalf, you are fit, or something like that. Like when he's got that voice, like Jeremy Irons has the voice, man, for it. Yeah. He's got the acting chops. He's got everything there that for the character of Saruman. So that's why I'm going to pick Jeremy Irons as my number.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm, how would you rank him?
Yeah, this was actually really tough for me, but ultimately for number 3, I went with Patrick Stewart. Just because we haven't really seen him do a lot of like villains and that. For number 2, I went Ray Fiennes. I do like the pick. But he has shown to play many different types of villains. I just don't know if he's exactly the right pick to be Saruman. But my number 1, I went Jeremy Irons. Just because like I've basically everything Wolfman says, and I think a Shakespearean actor actually really works for that sort of role. So
and Brian kind of has the same kind of thinking in the chat. He's got Patrick Stewart 3, then Ray Fiennes, and then Jeremy Irons number 1. So yeah, it was tough, but with the scores, it'll be Jeremy Irons as our
the first one I get.
Saruman. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking, man, like Ray Fiennes would be a shoo-in, but then you went Jeremy Irons. So
yeah.
That's it.
I made sure I was like had to be as careful as I could with each of the picks I went with. I was like,
yeah. So for our next one, and Malcolm may be a little sour about this, but that's all right. We're gonna go with Gimli, and maybe you can explain why when it gets to his turn. But yeah. So it'll be Gimli next. Oh, and you know what? I've been forgetting to play the clips for each one.
I was about to.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to just go full bore on like nothing but clips. I'm gonna go to introduce the more characters now that I remember. I'm gonna play one at the beginning of the round and one at the end of the round until we catch up. So I'll do that. So we started with Boromir. So here's the a clip, and just bear with me. The clips are a little long, but it's just because I am like working on my editing setup. Like I can edit, but not that much.
What I would suggest is maybe play the one that focusing on Gimli first, and then in between the voting.
Oh yeah,
play one of the other ones.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll go Gimli, and then we'll go back to our start at the beginning. So the Gimli one, let me bring it. Here it is. There you go.
What business does an elf, a man, and a dwarf have in the Riddermark? Speak quickly.
Give me your name, horsemaster, and I shall give you mine. It's a little tight across the chest.
I'm Aragorn, son of Aragorn. This is Gimli, son of Gloin, and Legolas of the Woodland Realm.
Soon, Master Elf, you will enjoy the feeble hospitality of the dwarves. Roaring fires, molten meal,
What is this horrid creature?
That's my wee lad, Gimli. Gandalf, we could pass through the lines of Moria. My cousin Balin give us a royal welcome. Well, here's one dwarf she won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox. Where is he? Get out of the way! I'm gonna kill him! You are the luckiest, the canniest, and the most reckless man I ever knew. Bless you, laddie. Let him stay there.
Have you learned nothing of the stubbornness of dwarves?
Might as well accept it. We're going with you, laddie. Let him rot! Why should we care? I thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf.
What about side by side with a friend?
That still only counts as one! I would stay still if I were you. That's it, right? We warn you. Prepare to be boarded. There is one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath.
I'm on 17!
Put the arrows outside me! Come on! I'm gonna jump up the such a Don't tell the elf. Not more. What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you? Or would you like me to find you a box?
He can't hold his liquor.
Game over.
And they call it a mine. A mine! He was already dead.
He was twitching.
He was twitching because he's got my axe embedded in his nervous system.
That's one of the like shorter ones. So some of them
That's one of the shorter ones. Wow.
Yeah. So I may end up cutting some of them short. So
No. This is the extended edition of.
Right. Yeah. Well, especially when we get to Frodo, that one's really long. But I can share some of the like clips maybe in the chat if you ever want to just have like a moment and just watch the full clips on your own. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah. So we'll go to Gimli, and I'm gonna go back up to where I have the graphics for my pick. Let's see. It's right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think my pick is like I'm curious to see what you guys think because it's one that I think could really work because he brings the humor for sure, but I think that he can bring the kind of the gravitas. We've seen him play like all kinds of like from villains to like good guys and like everywhere in between and like recently he's had more of the look because I pulled his current profile picture from IMDb, but I went with Jack Black for my pick. So you can kind of see with the beard there, just dye it red and just just I mean for anyone I feel like you got to make him shorter because he's a dwarf, even most short people, but and then I feel like you could get him drinking, you could get him just like doing the voice. He does voices really well. You get him sing because Gimli sings a little and yeah, so I'll go with Jack Black for my pick. So and then you can see what the AI did with Jack Black as Gimli. I don't know if it looks totally like him. There's a motorcycle on one. I don't know why, but
once again, it's his high school picture.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's Gimli's high school picture, right? No. He wouldn't have access to a motorcycle, but still, but yeah. So that's my pick. But Wolf, what do you have for your pick?
So my pick, I assume someone else had this pick because of what of all the discussions that's been happening in the group chat, but I went with an actor, Brian Blessed. That's who I went with. And this dude, look at that photo. That photo right there is Gimli. Literally,
Right.
that photo is Gimli. His accent by itself is Gimli. Like everything is about him is Gimli. This dude fits it so well. He's, if y'all don't know who he is, he's played Boss Nass in The Phantom Menace. He's played Prince.
Boss Nass.
Yeah, he played Prince Voltan in Flash Gordon, which was like the performance that I was like, oh yeah, that's Gimli for sure. And then there's several other, like he played Clayton Tarzan. He was in Robin Hood as Lork Lostley, the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. So he's been in those kind of period piece, kind of, warrior kind of films. And so to me, Brian Blessed, he's got the look for it. He's got the accent. He's got the acting chops. This is the definition of Gimli. Done deal right there. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. And we can bring up what AI had for Brian Blessed as Gimli. I mean, looks pretty close. Just more of a white beard that the AI gave over one brown one. But
if you imagine it brown, you can see it more.
Yeah. But well, Malcolm will just reveal that you also had Brian Blessed, but Wolf just got his picks to me slightly sooner, so I had to go with Wolf for it. But you're pretty quick also. So who would be your next choice if you can't have Brian Blessed?
Well, I mean, if it was a case of me not finding out like today, I probably would have put a bit probably would have put some better foot into it. I just picked a random name out of my head because then I thought could do it. That coincidentally is Nick Frost. So I think Nick Frost
with the beard.
his demeanor and that he did in the Shaun of the Dead universe of movies, I think is good as works and but
yeah, sounds good. I mean, definitely has the look from that photo that I pulled. I'm like I can see, and I think he even played some kind of dwarf in like one of the like Snow White like in movies or something. He was a dwarf at some point. So yeah, but so just go and give him a quick ranking.
So did you not have time to do an AI figure, Nick Frost?
oh yeah. So yeah, the Nick Frost. Yeah, I actually do have it. So before you make your final ranking, it wasn't close. Doesn't even really look like it, except for maybe that one in the bottom right. Kind of looks sort of like him, but and it did like some cartoons of him and stuff. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of him with one with a massive beard there. but yeah. But I got my picks ready to go. So so for number 3, I have Nick Frost, just because I mean I could see him doing it, but I just kind of see the other two just a little more. It's really really not really any reason why I can't see him doing it, other than like maybe I don't see him having like the voice that like John Rhys Davies has, which John Rhys Davies, he's awesome. He goes to like so many conventions, so I've met him twice, and at 2 separate ones, and he's really cool. He always does panels and everything. So yeah, and then for my number 2, I have a Brian Blessed, just because I don't like know quite enough about him. Like I like maybe like some more time to maybe like look into him and like check out more of his roles. But that is cool. They did Boss Nass. I can totally see it. Like he probably like has the look and probably the booming voice, it sounds like too. So
yeah.
And then number 1, I have Jack Black, just because I can see him transforming into like anything, and he has the booming voice. He has the energy and like the charisma and like all that stuff that just would work really well, I think. So yeah, I got Jack Black number 1. But what are your rankings, Wolf?
So my number 3 is Nick Frost. I think that that's I could see him doing it again, but I feel like there's something missing there. Number 2, I'll say Jack Black, because I actually disagree. He doesn't have the deeper voice that Gimli does. Like that's the thing, is like I feel more like the when I think of Jack Black, I think more like high pitch.
Nah.
Like he's more, because like he sings the high pitched rock and roll stuff, like when the School of Rock and stuff like that. I think a little bit more like higher.
Watch the Pick of Destiny.
voice.
Like he has some pretty deep voices in that.
But like,
I mean, didn't he go deep voices Bowser in Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever heard him go like a deep voice like that. But my number 1, I'm gonna go Brian Blessed. Like literally, the photo you saw again, it was like a Tom Holland situation. The photo you showed was looked more like Gimli than the actual AI. Like it's just everything about Brian Blessed just fits with Gimli. So I'm gonna pick Brian Blessed.
Yeah, and then Malcolm, how would you have him ranked?
I really want to do Spite Vote and put Brian Blessed last because I not even I could do that.
Yeah.
But number 3, I mean Nick Frost. Like even I didn't really believe my own pick.
Yeah.
At 2, I went Jack Black. Just everything Wolf said is like part of it. Like I'm kind of hesitant on him. And like I'll be happy if I didn't put Brian Bless as number 1.
Yeah, because
like
you had him before,
also, like considering we both had the same thought. And he's the face of, even though he's not a New Zealand actor, he's the face of one of the bank's ads for a brief period of time over here.
Wow,
right.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so based on the votes, it's going to be Brian Blessed. So for
perfect
Gimli,
choice. Gimli. Yeah.
Brian Blessed. I never heard of him before this until I did a little bit of research. So.
Have you ever seen Blackadder?
Oh
yeah,
that's another show.
With Rowan Atkinson, right?
Yeah.
He was King. He was King Richard in the first season.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah. Actually, I've seen that. So.
And then he was in the animated Tarzan, and he's been in a few other movies that you might have seen.
Yeah. So Brian says he has Jack Black as Gimli, so like maybe I'll invite him on the next episode, but he's not on this one. So, he has for his he had Brian Blessed at 3. Then his number 2.
That's probably because he has no idea who Brian Blessed is.
Probably we got the same name. You didn't vote for the guy with the same name, and then Jack Black for number 1. And then I'm not sure who this actually is, but there's somebody JL. Thanks for tuning in. It could be someone we know, but I don't know. But they have Christopher Hibju. I have no idea who that is, but you can look it up and see if it's anyone who.
I did look it up. He kind of does. He does have the look.
Really? That's funny. Actually, kind of want.
He was. He played the. As I just pulled up his Wikipedia. He was the security chief in After Earth. In
Game of Thrones. I know who.
He was Olaf Christopher in Cocaine Bear, and he's apparently going to be in a movie called Distant as well. There was also Connor in the Fate of the Furious.
Everyone says I look like him. He's sort of the because he's ginger. And anytime someone's ginger, they're like, "Oh, you look like that dude." But he was in Game of Thrones.
You see him here. There's a picture of him. Yeah. So yeah, he's in Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's right. I've seen him before. Yeah. So yeah, that's not a bad pick. Christopher Hivju with a V. Yeah, is what it is. So. Right there, but yeah, and then just because I forgot to play the clips, I'll play one bonus one at the end of the round. So here's our Boromir montage. Here you go.
Elrond of Rivendell has called a meeting. He will not say why, but I have guessed its purpose. Everyone will try to claim it. Men, dwarves, wizards. We cannot let that happen. This thing must come to Gondor. Gondor. It's dangerous, I know. Ever the ring will seek to corrupt the hearts of lesser men, but you are strong.
a dream, I saw the eastern sky grow dark, but in the west a pale light lingered.
It's a strange fate that we should suffer so much fear and doubt over so small a thing. Such a little thing.
Boromir! Still sharp.
Remember today, little brother. No more than a broken arrow.
I heard a voice inside my head. She spoke of my father and the fall of Gondor. She said to me, even now there is hope left. But I cannot see it. I will see the glory of Gondor restored. Have you ever seen his Aragorn? Have you ever been called home by the clear ringing of silver trumpets?
He tried to take the ring from Frodo. After swearing an oath to protect him, he tried to kill it. The ring drove your brother mad.
Frodo?
Never again!
The whole of Gondor.
For
Boromir.
the land of my people fall into enemy hands!
Forgive me. I did not see. I have failed you all.
You fought bravely. You've kept your honor.
The lords of Gondor have returned. The world of men will fall. And all will come to darkness. I swear to you, I will not let the White City fall. Nor our people fail. Oh, people, I would have followed you, my brother. My captain. My king. Be at peace, son of Gondor.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Second greatest redemption arc in all of cinema, right behind Darth Vader, probably. Like the second greatest redemption arc I've seen put to film. Maybe even the greatest. Like,
really good, yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on to our next pick, we're going to be doing Legolas for the next one. So let me start bringing up the. Well, actually, before I get to the graphics, we'll just watch another clip of Legolas. This one's quite a bit longer, so we'll see if I cut it, but we'll see how it goes.
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you? Or would you like me to find you a box?
That still only counts as one.
And HBO Max, not a sponsor, but I guess you can watch it.
But I am watching it on HBO Max right now as we speak. So in the background.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice, yeah. But yeah, he does have some pretty iconic kills, and like the way that he mounts that freaking horse with one hand, it's like that's like seems impossible. But for an elf, possible probably.
Yeah. He like I love the Legolas character, but he's kind of there to be one, eye candy for the ladies, and then two, just be a badass. That's like his whole purpose. So,
yeah, right.
right.
Also, a fun fact about Legolas, he never misses a single shot in the entire trilogy, not one shot.
Yeah.
Ever. So
he also ignores Frodo for most of the movie too. It's like, you have my phone. Like, I'm not going to talk to you the rest of the movie.
Yeah, right. but yeah, we'll get into our picks now. Now this is the one where I borrowed an actor from the Hobbit series. I just think that like it when I thought about it, like this really fit really well. And so, but it's not borrowing Orlando Bloom or anything like that. But it's one that like wields a bow quite often, and I think that like has played really kind of tough, badass, like just very agile characters that I think could really embody that, and also like maybe one for the ladies too, possibly. I don't know, but I went with Luke Evans for my pick, so you can see him there with the bow there. So yeah, and I think he would be like a pretty inspired pick. He even like in like some ways, if he like was clean shaven and had blonde hair, maybe he'd look a little like
I was gonna say that like that picture there, they airbrushed his face because his face is a lot more like messed up. Like it's got like
right.
wrinkles and stuff like that. It's like,
yeah, they definitely did some Photoshop there, but yeah, but we can see what the AI had for Luke Evans as Legolas. Right there, you can kind of see it with like a little blonde to it, but not all blonde. But yeah, that's kind of what they had for him. So yeah, but Wolf, who do you have for your?
So the pick I went with is I wanted someone who would be the eye candy for the ladies. He's been in a popular franchise, which, by the way, a franchise where the writer of the books were friends with Tolkien. So there you go.
Yeah.
And then he's also been in like he's been in a lot of things, but he's also got the badassness to him. He's got a suave to him. That's the thing that Legolas has too. He's got like a kind of a quiet suaviness to him a bit. And that's why I went with Ben Barnes, who we all know from as Prince Caspian in the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, and the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So he's had that kind of an experience with a fantastical world like this. and from C.S. Lewis, who is really good friends with Tolkien. So it's just it all really fits. I feel like he's got everything Legolas needs. He's got the looks. He's got the action experience, the fight in him. He's got the just suaviness to him. He's got everything Legolas has and more. And he's in Westworld. He's in a lot of other great pieces of media. So I will go with Ben Barnes. That's my pick.
And also, like, maybe not like a great movie overall, but he was the seventh son, so like that's kind of like medieval, kind of in that vibe, though. I mean,
yeah, that's another.
At least has the look. So yeah, sure. so Ben Barnes, you can see what the AI had for Ben Barnes as Legolas here.
Oh wow, the one on the bottom left looks almost identical in a way. It's like the bottom.
Yeah, right.
Looks a lot like him. Like, jeez.
Yeah. So you kind of see you see some with blonde, see some with brown hair. Hang on, my screen just shifted, so now I gotta. There we go. but Malcolm, who you have for your Legolas pick?
For me, I also went with someone who's been in a very popular franchise and also is easy on the eyes as well. And I went with Hugh Jackman. Well, yes, like you know him as Wolverine and X-Men, that like with the gruff, but in his non-X-Men appearances, like he's got that smooth voice, and like I think the combination of the badassness of Wolverine combined with his like voice he uses in like things like Ken Leopold and stuff like that, I think it could work as a really good Legolas. And this is the one I actually had a bit of struggle with as well, because there's many people I was thinking of, and I almost like one of my alternates was going to be Tom Holland, funny enough.
Oh nice.
But yeah, I think Hugh Jackman is probably a good pick.
Well, you have to check out what the AI did, because the AI for this one I thought was like almost like nearly spot on. I was like, wow. So this is the AI for Hugh Jackman. I think that he looks the part like really well.
Take away the beard and you're right.
Yeah, especially in that like the top right one. I think that he just with the bow and everything. Yeah. So yeah, like I wasn't really sure about him until I saw the AI. I'm like, oh, actually, that could work.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's made me think about it a little bit more. I think that him and Ben Barnes, as far as looks go, on the AI.
Because the thing is, like, it's kind of why I like to incorporate AI just a little bit, because there's some people you kind of look at them and you're like, there's no way they could play it, but then you see them transformed and you're like, oh, like maybe they actually can do it. So yeah. So you just take a second and just give them a quick ranking.
I mean, some of the picks that came up in the chat, I could be quite interesting too as well.
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, so Brian
Austin Butler was one I considered.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. I didn't even think about him. He'd be great. Yeah, and another one that's supposedly easy on the eyes for the ladies. Then Bill Skarsgård or Charlie Hunnam. Yeah, or even one of the Hemsworth. But like, you know me, I'm not a big Charlie Hunnam fan, so I'm not really likely to pick Charlie Hunnam. But.
You know who else we didn't pick that I think would also be a good choice is Robert Pattinson. I almost had him.
Yeah, that
I could see someone like him.
Be a really good choice. But we can go with our rankings. For mine, I had for my number 3, and it was pretty close, but I have Ben Barnes for number 3, just because I don't know. I'm just trying to picture all of them, like how they'd be with a bow and arrow and like the nimbleness and like all that stuff. And I think he has it. He definitely does. But I mean, it's just tough. Like somehow I just see the other two a little more. So that's kind of my thing, because I have Luke Evans for number 2, and then I have Hugh Jackman for number 1, because like the AI is like what actually convinced me. I'm like, wow, because like like I didn't think about that at first. I'm like, there's no way. And then when I saw that, I'm like, oh yes, there is a way. so yeah, Hugh Jackman for number 1. But what do you have, Wolf?
So I'm gonna go number 3. I'll go Luke Evans, just because I think he's got a little bit too much of a rough face to him, just a little bit, to play someone like that's one thing about Legolas is he's got an extremely like baby bottom face. Like it's as smooth as a baby's behind. That face is like pretty and smooth. It ain't got no scars, ain't got no, it's very, very pretty looking. So that's why I'm also gonna go with Hugh Jackman at number 2, because while the AI looked really good, I just think that he again has a little bit too much of a gruffness to him, even in his voice. His voice is a lot more deeper too, so I feel like he's got a little bit more of a gruffness to him. But he's still a really solid choice. But then my number 1 is Ben Barnes, because he's got the suave, he's got the looks, he's got just, I feel like he has been in a medieval franchise that works really well. So I'm gonna go number 1 is Ben Barnes.
Yeah, and then Malcolm, what are your rankings?
For me, I put Luke Evans at number 3. Just because I don't think, like, while he worked for Bard the Boatman in the Hobbit things, I don't really think he works that well in as Legolas. For number 2, I put Ben Barnes. I do like him, and I was going back and forth between that and Hugh Jackman, but I think Hugh Jackman is going to be number 1 still for me. Because I do think, and it's one of those ones like, Hugh Jackman's not always with a beard. He really doesn't like. He is mostly like clean shaven in a lot of his other movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, with that, Hugh Jackman's going to be our Legolas tonight. So Hugh Jackman. So nice. Yes, not one I would have thought, but the more I think about it, like it actually like really works. So
that's sort of like the Philip Seymour Hoffman of the Aliens one last time, where it's like,
right. That one kind of does work. Yeah. But I'm going to do a little bit of the videos that we missed. We have the one for Mary here, so I'll play that.
The war has started. I think we might have made a mistake leaving the Shire, Pippin.
Mary, it's Frodo Baggins.
Hello, Frodo. That Black Rider was looking for something. Or someone. Frodo? This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in pints? I can get you one.
How do we know this Strider isn't a friend of Gandalf?
I think a servant of the enemy would look fairer. Feel fouler.
These are for you. Keep them close.
Why should Merry be left behind? Why can he not fight for those he loves?
If in doubt, hand up. Always follow your nose.
Courage, Merry. Courage for our friends.
We don't belong here, Merry. It's too big for us.
Fires of Isengard will spread. And the woods of Tugborough and Buckland will burn. And all that was once great and good in this world will be gone.
We're coming too!
So be it. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Our friends are out there. They cannot fight this war on their own.
Run, Frodo.
Hey! Hey, you! Over here!
We'll see each other soon.
I don't know.
Merry.
Run, Shadowfax.
Merry!
He's always followed me.
Pippin.
I offer you my service, Theoden King. Everywhere I went,
You shall be
Nariado.
He's gone.
Esquire of Rohan.
You're going to leave me.
Mary!
No, Mary.
I might have known.
Yeah. So, and if you haven't gotten a chance, go check out their podcast called The Friendship Onion. It's really good stuff. Even them just like reading ads and just being charming during ad reads and all that stuff is a lot of fun over there. So yeah. But I was just gonna bring up Brian had his picks for the last round. He would have gone actually with Hugh Jackman number 3, and then Ben Barnes number 2, and he had Luke Evans number 1. So I would have had him on my side. So I might have to think about bringing him on next time. Like you're making some good calls, Brian.
But he also had Brian Bless in number 3. So
yeah, that is true. Yeah, true. But yeah, we'll go into our next pick, which is rightly so. It's gonna be Aragon. So we're
Aragorn.
Sorry, I always forget the other R whenever I say. Even though I like see it when I read it, I'd still say Aragon, but it's Aragorn. Yeah, Gorn. But I do have the video for Aragorn. Let me see. Oh yeah, right here. Here we go.
Why do you fear the past?
The same blood flows in my veins. The same weakness.
Whether by the sword or the slow decay of time, Aragorn will die.
I would have gone with you to the end. Into the very fires of Mordor.
You are one of the Dunedain, a descendant of Numenor, blessed with long life.
You ever seen his Aragorn?
There are few of us left. I've seen the White City. The Northern Kingdom was destroyed long ago.
This is no mere ranger. He is Aragorn. You owe him your allegiance.
They fight beside you because they would not be parted from you.
There is always hope.
Because they love you.
Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and I tell you now, will not bow to this ranger from the north.
He will need you before the end, Aragorn. The people of Rohan will need you.
Then I shall die as one of them.
The defenses have been moved.
They will hold.
Look to my coming. At first light on the 5th day. At dawn. Look to the east.
The Horn of Gondor.
Boromir.
You said this fortress would never fall while your men defend it. They still defend it. They have died defending it.
Ride out with me. Ride out and meet them.
The sun is rising.
There is also life. You saw there was a child.
My captain. My king.
Put aside the ranger. Become who you were born to be.
A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight.
By my life or death, I can protect you. I will.
By all that you hold dear. on this good earth. I bid you stand, men of the West!
For Frodo.
Now come the days of the king.
This day does not belong to one man, but to all. Let us together rebuild this world, that we may share in the days of peace.
Yeah. So
I'm loving this.
and I felt like I had to play the whole entire clip because you got to see the arc when he starts out as the ranger, and then he over time he finally becomes the king. He goes from ranger to like warrior to king, and it's a whole journey that's like pretty cool. So we're gonna give our picks for our Aragorn. I gotta remember to say the other R, Aragorn. But I have my pick here, and it's someone who sounds quite a bit like Viggo Mortensen. I think that he kind of has the same kind of like, I don't know, like presence and air about him, and so for my pick I went with Russell Crowe for mine. So I thought he would be a really good pick, especially doing the gladiator stuff. Maximus, I mean, that's just just seems like almost another version of Aragorn in a lot of ways, and I just think that like he's got that toughness. I can see him being a king. I can see him just leading armies. I can see him, but I can also see him kind of being the ranger, and like hiding in the shadows and like doing all that stuff too. So I think he could really work and pull it off. So I'll go with Russell Crowe for my pick, and then I'll give you a look at what the AI did for Russell Crowe as Aragorn.
Ooh, okay.
And you can,
that bottom right one looks a bit like quite a bit like him.
Yeah.
The bottom right one.
Yeah, right. And you can see him like with and without the helmet on, so kind of like that. So yeah, but Wolf, what who do you have for your Aragorn pick?
So my pick initially, and I'm going to explain it to you guys. All right. My pick initially is going to come across as kind of weird. All right. But think of him as a younger age. Obviously a much younger age. But I went with an actor that is a very versatile actor and knows how to be very subtle and quiet and nuanced when done right. And I would love to see him. Yeah, he's given us a medieval film he has been in. It wasn't good, but it was a medieval film he has been in. And but I would love to see him be in some epic like this, leading it with the acting chops that he has, and that is Nicolas Cage. I put a younger Nicolas Cage. I
found a picture from the medieval film
right there. Yeah, the Season of the Witch look to him like that. I could see something like that as an Aragorn, and he's got almost like the softness voice to him that Aragorn has when he speaks, and he's also got there's one thing about Aragorn too that I don't know if anyone else is going to bring up on this stream, but because he's always had the visions of him and his kids, he's very dad-like for the hobbits. You know, he comes across as that very dad-like character, and so in a way, and so I feel like he's in a way like almost treating the hobbits like, you know, his own kids, and so I feel like Nicolas Cage would kind of fit that part of it as well. And this guy is an Oscar-winning actor. Let's not forget that. Like, he's an Oscar-winning actor. He's a phenomenal actor. So Nicolas Cage, yeah, he can be crazy, but I feel like that would fit for the shouting scenes. Where he's like, "It is not this day we fight." I feel like Nicolas Cage could really like deliver that, but also give the subtle, tender human moments. So that's why I went with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I believe also Russell Crowe. He's like won like 3 Oscars too, so he's an Oscar-winning actor too. So I just throwing that in there. But Malcolm, who do you have for your Aragorn?
Muted.
You're muted.
I written with Charlie Chaplin. No.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, silent era.
No. But for my Aragorn, I went for someone else who's not familiar for like a medieval type thing, like set in the past, and that because he did play Alexander the Great in Alexander. I went to Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah,
and just because it's.
Oh yeah.
But just because I think he's got the like gravitas, and I think he's got that kind of Aragorn quality, and I think he's one of those ones that like he really can disappear into the role, like whether it's due to prosthetics and all that. I think it's just one of those ones that just is really versatile and like turns up. So yeah.
Yeah, and the picture that I pulled, that was from not a good movie. That movie, The New World, he was in or something. But we had the kind of like hair and like the beard and like that kind of stuff. I thought so. But yeah, I want to take a look at what the AI plugged in for Colin Farrell as Aragorn. So.
Oh, we didn't do the AI for Nicolas Cage's Aragorn, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'll have to go back, but that's kind of some looks for his.
Nice.
Give me a second, because my screen shifts when I go into full screen mode. I gotta go back and there we go. And then the Nicolas Cage, yeah. So there's Nick Cage is kind of an Aragorn look.
Right top.
For some reason, there's a dog there. Like I don't know why there's a dog. It's kind of weird.
That's his. He's riding one of the wargs, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's kind of what those are there. So you can take a quick second and give it a quick ranking and see what you would pick. But so far, they've all been pretty tough. I only really had one round where it was kind of easier, but
yeah.
But
this
one
is
not.
Pretty tough too,
Yeah. So I got my picks here. So for number 3, I have Nick Cage just because I just feel like I don't know, like I'm just waiting for him to like snap and fly off the handle and become crazy. Nick Cage, but doesn't always do it. Like he's made it through entire movies just being pretty subtle and like subdued. But I just kind of feel like
Pig is a great example. Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, Ben, but like still like just compared to the other two, I feel like he's kind of my 3. So number 2, I have Colin Farrell because like recently he's been impressing me more and more, like just like all the different roles that he's been doing and kind of transformed, especially like in the Batman was a huge transformation. He was almost like unrecognizable in that. But what's the one that he did on the island with Brendan Gleeson? That he was great in that one. I'm like spacing on it.
Yeah. Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, the Banshees of Inisherin. Yeah, he was great in that. And kind of say, even though he is kind of playing kind of like a guy that just wants to be friends with someone's a little bit different, but I still kind of see him like running like that kind of area, kind of like it has like a Middle Earth kind of feel to it. So it just seemed like running around there. So, but then my number 1, I have Russell Crowe just because he just sounds like him and like he just kind of has the same like feel and like gravitas to him and just kind of like you can see him as like all the different things that I mentioned earlier, just like as the like the Strider kind of ranger guy. You can see him as the warrior. You can see him as the king. You can see him as all that stuff. So yeah. But But Wolf, what do you have for your picks?
So, yeah, this is a hard one because I actually think all three of these are very capable of being a really good Aragorn. But my number 3, I actually went with my own pick because because I thought about your two picks and I was like, yeah, I really like those ones a lot, but especially because literally right after I sent you my Nicolas Cage one, and like today I thought about it before we did it. I thought of it today. I was like, oh, Russell Crowe. I'm like, I don't think I can change it now. I was like literally thinking about that. I was like about to do that. I was like, dang it. I was like thinking about something. I was like, that's like a perfect choice. I didn't think of Russell Crowe. But then I was and so I was thinking that. So I'm gonna go number 3, Nick Cage. I do think he's got I do want to see him in an epic like this and lead something like that to where he can have his subtle like performance.
Yeah, the Western coming out soon,
like
but like not one like this though. So yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to see something like this in Nick Cage's wheelhouse. And then number 2, I'll go with Colin Farrell. I just think that I could really see him pulling that role off, especially like an older Colin Farrell a little bit, like just because I actually think an older one because he's like, has more of that grizzled look to him and such. So I can see it. And then my number 1 will be Russell Crowe. And congratulations, Jordan. You finally
get one. Yeah, finally get one.
Yeah, Russell Crowe
might be the only one, but yeah.
That's a really good choice.
Nice. Well, Malcolm, what did you have for your rankings?
Yeah, I went Nick Cage. I just I don't see it like and yeah, he's one of those ones like I see him in a movie, I keep expecting to go crazy and all that. Number 2, I actually went Colin Farrell, just because I also today thought of maybe changing it to Russell Crowe. Because but I think Russell Crowe will be perfect, and it's another New Zealand actor to the cast. So
there you go.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, for some reason, like I always forget that he was born in New Zealand, so like I didn't really think like I should play to the person from New Zealand, right? but yeah, Russell Crowe will be our Aragorn, and then I don't know. So in the chat there, Brian was saying for some reason the clips are stopping the stream. Could be because of copyright. I'm not sure. There was a little moment for me where it actually paused for me, like during that clip. I don't know if you guys got that, but it did.
I didn't. It didn't pause for me.
It worked fine for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it could just be the stream itself because like the stream is still running on YouTube. Like it's not like if it was copyright, they would have completely stopped it. And
yeah, right.
your stream would be completely blocked, and you wouldn't be able to replay it.
Right, and also I think that it could be your computer, Brian. Possibly, I don't know, but it could be that. But yeah. Well, but I was gonna go to the next clip that we missed, which was I think Pippin. So I'll play that one.
I don't want to be in a battle, but waiting on the edge of one I can't escape is even worse. Is there any hope, Gandalf?
Just a fool's hope. Run. Indeed. Cannot get out. They're coming.
I just want to look at it. Just one more thing.
Didn't think it would end this way.
End? No, the journey doesn't end here. Death is just another path. One that we all must take.
Do you see that?
Look at me.
Yeah. And just going back to the last
Never
pick for,
have I ever thought I would live in a world where I saw a Pippin montage to running up that hill. I never thought I would.
I know, right?
To see that.
Yep. But that's what I found. But Brian had for his Aragorn. I was just gonna throw him up there. He had Nick Cage at 3. You had Colin Farrell at 2, and then Russell Crowe at 1.
And then earlier he said he threw out the Bradley Cooper name, saying Bradley Cooper could have a feel like that.
Oh yeah. He said Aragorn feels like a Bradley Cooper, which isn't a bad pick actually. Yeah. Because like he definitely has the voice. Because like with like Rocket Raccoon, I would never guess that's Bradley Cooper doing the voice of Rocket Raccoon. But
for sure.
Yeah, but so yeah, well, we're going to the next one. That's actually the hardest one for me. The whole thing to be able to cast. We're gonna do the Gollum pick. So and let me go back. I got a little clip for the Gollum. Let me see where it is. Oh yeah, here you go from Two Towers. Here you go.
Must have the precious. They stole it from us. Sneaky little hobbitses. Wicked, tricksy, false. No, master. Yes, precious, false. They will cheat you, hurt you, lie. Master's my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening. You're a liar. And a thief. No. Murderer. Go away. Go away! I hate you. I hate you. Where would you be without me? Ellen, I saved us. It was me. We survived because of me. Not anymore. What did you say? Master looks after us now. We don't need you. What? Leave now and never come back. No! Leave now and never come back. Leave now and never come back. We told him to go away. And away he goes, precious. Gone.
So I don't know for you guys, the clip totally froze on me. I don't know if it did for you guys, but I just ended it. So, but
no, it played just fine for me.
Okay, well, it was near the end, anyways. But yeah, but you're right, Wolf. Like if there's ever a case for like mocap at the Oscars, like that, to have a category for it, like that right there is like
I
just
agree.
like phenomenal. It's like so good. So,
I also think Andy Serkis, like, say what you will about the Apes movies, like that too. Like I think he, like, his performance wise in that was incredible. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean,
so yeah,
I think once mocap becomes sort of more commonplace in movies, I think at the moment it's not as prevalent in movies as yet. So I think once it becomes more commonplace and more studios are doing it, then I think they may consider it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
But for this cast in particular, this one was a lot of fun because we got to do an AI for the Golem and the Smeagol, and it gave some weird, wild like AI stuff. So it'll be fun to kind of see. And also like for a lot of this, like you kind of have to since it's a mocap performance, you kind of have to go based on not necessarily totally looks. Like it's just like about the voices, about their character, about their presence, what you think they can bring to a character like a Golem, you know. So just kind of keep that in mind with these. And also, I don't know if anyone's played that like the Lord of the Rings Golem video game, but I've heard people that have played it that say that's not very good. Like
I as a Lord of the Rings fanboy, I will play it, but I'm not rushing out to get it anytime.
Yeah, same. Like I'm more of like a Shadow of Mordor kind of a person when it comes to those games, or even like old like the Two Towers game they had on like PlayStation 2.
I had the
like
Return of the King game.
Fun.
Yeah, that was also fun.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'll go ahead with my pick. My pick was like pretty tough for this one. I just wanted to find someone who could kind of bring the back and forth and like maybe do the like craziness, but like the like kind of like the sweetness where you kind of feel bad for him at times. So I wasn't really sure where to go, but my pick I went with Eddie Redmayne for my pick because I feel like he's done roles where like he's been pretty like the endearing, but then I can't remember what that like space one is where he's like playing the villain and talking like this the whole time.
Oh gosh, Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, in Jupiter Ascending, like I feel like he's done a lot of kind of just like pretty like diverse roles, and like I feel like I could just see him like bringing the like craziness to it also. So, but like part of me almost wanted to like go with a Nick Cage even maybe to like go do the back and forth maybe, but like I just wasn't sure about that, so I picked Eddie Redmayne. I wasn't sure this was my toughest one, so we'll see what you guys think, but yeah, so that's mine. And then you can kind of see when we bring up the AI, the Golem stuff just kind of looks like a Golem. It doesn't really like look too much, but the does. So like the Golem. I mean, maybe if you look very very closely, maybe you'll see something, but
maybe
kind of like a Golem. But the Smeagol though, you can kind of see like before he becomes like with like Golem, like you can see like a little bit of the face with like the bones sticking out and like that kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. But Wolf, who do you have for your Golem pick?
So this again, I agree. This is the hardest one to pick because Andy Serkis is just so iconic in the role. So I went with an actor that knows how to do a voice performance, and that is someone who special someone is Mark Hamill. Hello there. Look at
got a kind of crazy
face. It's like that's my trying to do my Mark Hamill Joker. He's literally played the Joker. He's played Skeletor, by the way, too, in a He-Man show. He's done voice for Chucky in one of the Chucky movies. This dude knows how to do like a crazy, sadistic kind of voice performance, and I feel like he also can play it kind of, with what he's done with Luke Skywalker before. He could have sort of a heart to, or a heart warm, like a warmth to him at some aspects, even though we all know, like as Smeagol, I think that would work really well. But then once he turns, I feel like he would be able to capture that craziness perfect because of his voice performances and what he's done in voice acting. So that's why I went Mark Hamill.
Okay, and then Brian's saying, even if we do get blocked, I'll just like hit the little edit thing and it'll be up in a day or two, because Brian's saying stream unavailable, suspended for policy violations. So, but it's fine. I got some clips. We can see them, and maybe once the full edit's done, it'll show like partial clips, like maybe not all of it. So
yeah.
So
I mean, it could just be like something in Canada as well
that is true. Sometimes they will block certain videos in certain countries. So
in certain
do
countries,
like a limited
thing
where it's like
So we'll see, but So that's a pretty good pick. I'll show you what the Gollum looks like. Not too different. I mean, maybe if you really look close.
What's funny is the bottom looks like Yoda.
It's
funny because
it's like Yoda.
It's perfect because it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, right.
But the one on the bottom right looks a lot like Gollum.
Yeah, but when you go to the Smeagol one, it looks a little kind of more sort of like it. So that's
you pretty much Luke Skywalker.
It's like Luke. But Malcolm, who do you have for your Gollum pick?
Yeah, no, I was kind of mad at myself because during that clip, I just suddenly thought Mark Hamill just there's damn it. Look, I also thought of Giovanni Ribisi just because Seal Austin was just
right.
Well, not I also think he could be interesting, but ultimately I decided to stick with someone else who's really known for doing a lot of characters with a lot of different voices and stuff, and going all wacky, and that's Johnny Depp. He's just one of those ones that because I think the voice he uses for Willy Wonka is, you tone that up a little bit more. I think that could really make for passable Smeagol and I think that it's one of those ones that's weird, but I think it could work as well because in most of his roles, Johnny Depp does change his voice from time to time. He's never the same type of voice all the time.
Totally. So those was a tough role to kind of fill. You kind of it can't necessarily be by look, just by the voices and the acting and the presence that they have and stuff.
What's the Johnny Depp as Gollum?
The Johnny Depp as the Gollum. So here's the Gollum one. Doesn't really look too much like him. I don't know, but then you go to the Smeagol one. Doesn't really even look too much like a Smeagol.
Oh my god, the glasses!
I don't know what the AI was even going for there. Doesn't look like it, even like a Smeagol. Maybe the top left, sort of.
He looks like a hippie.
Yeah, right. It's just funny. Yeah. So I don't know. This is what it came up
the
with.
Hobbit folk band.
Yeah, right. So.
Brian also brought up another really good pick.
Oh yeah, Brad Dourif. I was thinking Brad Dourif when I was thinking between Brad Dourif and Mark Hamill. I was like,
that is a good pick.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did think of him, but then I was like, well, he's already in the Lord of the Rings universe. I'm not going to do that.
That's why I didn't pick him, and also he's only done one iconic voice really with Chucky. While Mark Hamill is much more known for voice acting and other stuff like that. That's why I also went that route.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm going to take a quick few seconds and do a quick ranking of how you would rank these for Gollum. I think I already got mine ready to go. So this was really tough. I mean, Like honestly, like it was so tough for me that I went to Chat GPT and just asked the Chat GPT what they thought. I thought that I should go with, just because I was like this one I'm like really stumped, and so there's like, and it wasn't giving me even like even Chat GPT wasn't a lot of help. It didn't really give me much. It said Eddie Redmayne, but for me, I think I go with Mark Hamill for number one. I think that's a pretty good call there on that one, and then. I have Johnny Depp for number two, just because I could see Johnny Depp even wanting, like, if he were to recast in the role, wanting to not just do mocap, but just do it practical and like try to actually be a Gollum. So I could see that maybe, and then I have Eddie Redmayne for number three because I think he can maybe get a little crazy, but I don't know. It's the least of the threes, but what are your rankings, Wolf?
Yeah, I've never seen Eddie Redmayne. Like, I mean, I've seen him go crazy, obviously, with Jupiter Ascending, but it wasn't good.
Right.
But it was entertaining, but it wasn't good. But I've mostly seen him give like subtle or more emotional performances. While there's also, while I will say Johnny Depp has been kind of cuckoo and crazy and all that stuff, and he has had stuff like that. So I would say Johnny Depp at number two. And then, of course, number one is the voice of the Joker, Skeletor. I just think like he would really be able to fit a Gollum really well. So Mark Hamill.
Yeah. And Malcolm, what do you have for your rankings?
Yeah, I just don't really see Eddie Redmayne at all.
Yeah.
I just think his voice is too soft. And I just
Probably.
and it's one of those. I don't see him getting that Gollum type energy. And two, I went Johnny Depp. And then number one, I went Mark Hamill. So
well, it's unanimous for that one. So it'll be Mark Hamill for our Gollum. Nice. Mark Hamill. Write it down. All right. And then I was just gonna play. We have one more, I think that I skipped before. That was a Saruman one, so I got a little Saruman.
And watch his before you play it. Look at his eyes especially during like Fellowship of the Ring and stuff. Like it would look like Jeremy Irons, and just imagine the long beard. Like I would rewatch this movie, and it's kind of creepy. A little bit. Like I was like, whoa,
nice, yeah. Let's take a look.
The power of Isengard is at your command, Sauron. We have work to do. A great eye, lidless, wreathed in flame. When did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness? Whom do you serve? Saruman.
not know pain, you do not know fear. You will taste man-flesh!
Yeah, I can kind of see the eyes a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's funny. But Christopher Lee, like he has like a deep voice and stuff, but then he has that high kind of nasally when he's like, "For whoa," it's kind of like higher pitched or whatever. But
whenever he speaks low though, I could hear like the Jeremy Irons thing, but like whenever he goes high, it's like it's very interesting. It is the voice that he does when he goes high pitched.
But I miss Christopher Lee though. Like he's
Dude,
like
he
a
was such a
phenomenal
good
actor.
actor.
Like yeah, so good. Like one of the best we've had. So, but yeah, we'll go on to the next one, which is going to be Gandalf for the next one. So, and I got a little clip for Gandalf, and I think let me see. One of these is like pretty long. Oh, this one's a little longer, but not too bad. So, all right, cool. Here we go.
It's so quiet.
It's the deep breath before the plunge. If the garrison at Osgiliath falls, the last defense of this city will be gone.
But we have the White Wizard. That's got to count for something.
Through fire and water, from the lowest dungeon to the highest peak,
The dark fire will not avail you. Flame of Uldoon!
I fought him the Balrog.
He was taken by both shadow and flame.
Who are you? Until at last I threw down my enemy and smote his ruin upon the mountainside. It cannot be. Darkness took me, and I strayed out of thought and time. The stars wheeled overhead.
Didn't think it would end this way.
And every day was as long as a life age of the earth.
End? No, the journey doesn't end here.
But it was not the end. I felt life in me again. Death is just another path. The sun is rising.
One that we all must take.
Look to my coming at first light on the 5th day. At dawn. Look to the east.
It's the White Rider!
Theoden King stands alone.
Not alone. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
The great red curtain of this world rolls back, and all turns to silver glass.
And then you see it.
Many that live deserve death. Some that die deserve life. There are other forces at work in this world, Frodo, besides the will of evil.
Prepare for battle!
Not Svedrin. Not all tears are an evil.
I wish the ring had never come to me.
What words of comfort did you give the half before you sent him to his doom?
I've sent him to his death.
I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
White sword. And beyond. Far green country.
Here at last,
Gandalf?
on the shores of the sea, comes the end of our fellowship.
Right. Gandalf. And also, I always like to tell people that I'm just like Gandalf. I'm never late. I'm never early. I arrive precisely when I mean to, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, Ian McKellen, another person that like on my bucket list of people to meet, because I met Patrick Stewart. I want to meet his best friend, but I don't know.
I've never seen him go to conventions either, so I don't know.
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, we'll go ahead with our Gandalf picks, and let's see. And yeah, so for my one is one that I think would like. I mean, I'll just throw him up there. I just mentioned him. He's Ian McKellen's best friend. I think Patrick Stewart could bring a really cool like kind of gravitas. Like he's a Shakespearean actor. He just has the voice and like the presence and the wisdom, and I could just see him doing the just like really guiding and like being like the like person that you look to for like what do we do next, and like where do we go from here, like or like how am I going to overcome this, and like people go to him, like even like I'm a big Star Trek Next Generation fan, even like Picard like has some feeling of Gandalf, because people go to him for advice and that kind of thing too. So yeah, and like rarely he's played villains. He has, but not too often. So yeah, I think he was one in like Green Room, and then there's a TV show where he's kind of like a villain too, but that I had. But yeah, so Patrick Stewart for me, and then we'll take a look at what the AI had for Patrick Stewart as Gandalf. Is this right there, which like looks pretty dang close. Like it almost looks like they did the AI for Ian McKellen, but
that was really good there.
Stewart, so yeah, that's Patrick Stewart. But Wolf, who do you have for?
So I went with someone who, again, not only does I think he looks a lot like him, but I also think he has the voice for him too. Literally, he sounds exactly like Ian McKellen if he was to say something like, "A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to." And that deep voice that Gandalf has would fit perfectly with Sean Connery. That's who I have as my pick.
Some long hair there.
And I just think that Sean Connery is that absolutely perfect choice for Gandalf. He's got not only the look and the gruffness, and like he's also got some wisdom to him through like certain characters he's played, like Highlander and a few others films. But then he's also just got the fighting skill, like the action. You've seen him do action stuff like that before. Like he's really, to me, just all around the perfect choice for a Gandalf. That's why I went Sean Connery.
Yeah, and famously, he was the one that turned down the role for Gandalf because he was going to be like an alternate.
Perfect.
So yeah, so there you go. So they almost cast.
There's a reason why he was almost casted.
Yeah, right. And then here's the AI for Sean Connery as Gandalf. I mean, it looks pretty.
That was pretty damn close to Ian McKellen. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really close. So it's going to be tough, but we'll see what Malcolm has. Who do you have for your Gandalf, Malcolm?
But yeah, I purposely chose to stay away from people who were offered the role or at one point during the making, because I thought it was a bit of a cheat. And and both Sean Connery and Patrick Stewart were both offered the role at various points.
Okay.
Patrick Stewart turned it down because he just liked the script, and I think this was about the time when Sean Connery was considering retiring anyway.
But he liked the script of being the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie, though. He liked that script.
Yeah.
I was talking about Sean Connery for the second one, but
yeah.
But
no, you were saying Patrick Stewart didn't really like the script to Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he liked the script for Emoji Movie to be in that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, Sean Connery. I think it was a case of for the Emoji Movie. It was a cameo role, but it wasn't really a major part of it. Sean Connery turned it down because he didn't understand the plot. Patrick turned down because
makes sense.
But yeah, ultimately, I chose to go with Brendan Gleeson, who like Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter, and
Yeah, I could see it.
And yeah, it's one of those ones like just I think with his demeanor and that I think he could be a really good Gandalf, and like he's not really a big Shakespearean type actor, although he was in Tragedy of Macbeth, which is like one. But it's one of those ones like I think he could like just the way he talks. I think is one that could be perfect for the role as well. So,
Yeah. Especially when he's in those movies. I forget the director that he's always in with Colin Farrell, and they're like in a bunch of those movies with that same director or whatever. Like in Bruges and the Banshees of Inisherin and stuff. Yeah, I kind of get a similar vibe. But here's the AI for Brendan Gleeson as Gandalf. So you can kind of see it there too. Like
what's interesting is when I was hearing about recasts, when I was doing research, I actually heard some people recast him as Gimli. Like I heard some people say that like you picked him as like a Gimli kind of role.
I'm not gonna lie, I was also almost considering for that at one point as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean it was I mean for me if I wasn't determined to stick with actors who are still alive, I probably would have gone Robbie Coltrane as Gimli personally.
Yeah, that's another one too. Robbie Coltrane.
That'd be a good call. But the AI for this one seemed to go with more like Gandalf the gray, what it looks like, more than the white. But yeah, so we can do a quick little ranking of how you would rank it. This is tough because they all like definitely have the look. So I'd say that. But I think I got
but hearing that voice, though, Sean Connery sounds exactly like Ian McKellen, almost to a T.
That is true.
The voice too. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, like I just wonder what kind of voice like a Patrick Stewart or a Brendan Gleeson could have because I never really like heard them give like big boisterous roles. Like really, I mean maybe they have, but not that I have like seen. But I have heard Sean Connery for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could argue Mad Eye Moody for Gleeson is kind of a big boisterous.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, true. That's a good one. I didn't think of that. But yeah. So for my rankings, I have Brendan Gleeson as number 3, just because I can see the other two just a little more, and I think I just don't quite see him as it. But and then I have Sean Connery for number 2. Just because I don't know, like it's like hard to kind of like difference. I mean, you definitely have to go with the old Sean Connery, but I like me a good a young like James Bond Sean Connery, that kind of stuff too. So it's kind of like it just makes me think of both. But for Patrick Stewart, I only think of him as like old. I don't really know him like that young. Like maybe when he first started on Star Trek Next Generation, but even then he still was what like in his like late 40s, early 50s, something like that. So I have him for number 1. So yeah, but what do you have, Wolf?
I also have Brendan Gleeson at number 3. I like that pick. I just think that he would fit more with Gimli just because in those movies that he's done with Colin Farrell, he's shown more of that like brashness and stuff to him, and he has more like that kind of style. So I think he would fit more for like a Gimli. And oh god, and then it is super hard between Patrick Stewart and Sean Connery because if you're going like old Sean Connery, it's extremely hard. Just because of the idea of Jeremy Irons facing off against Sean Connery. Like that match would be pretty cool. I think I'll go Patrick Stewart 2 and then 1 as Sean Connery.
All right, and the director that I was thinking of for In Bruges and all that was Martin McDonagh. That's what I was trying to think of.
Martin McDonagh, which I believe is going to be the Quentin Tarantino of this generation. I feel like he's got kind of almost similar vibe in a way. So
but Malcolm, how would you rank the actors?
For number 3, I went Patrick Stewart, just because I don't see him doing the big sort of booming-ish tone of Gandalf. If that makes any sense what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because even on in like Star Trek roles, when he tries to yell, you can tell his voice is pretty strange. And when he even does that.
Yeah. But and for 2, I went Sean Connery. I don't really have any reasons why I went against it. I was tossing it up between him and Brent Gleeson most of the time, but ultimately it's like just because he was sticking with my theme of almost Cars, like a little bit of a cheat. Ultimately I went with my own pick of Brendan Gleeson just because I do really think he'll be good.
Yeah. Well, with those votes, it'll be Sean Connery for Gandalf. So.
On a side note, I almost went Brendan Gleeson as Gimli and Colin Farrell as Legolas at one stage.
That was interesting. I think because I think Legolas would have. I think Colin Farrell would have made a better Aragorn. So I think you did a good call on that, and then think Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, for like a couple of my like Gandalf alternates.
Yeah.
I had Christopher Plummer. I thought he could do it. Maybe that could be one, or even Sam Neill. Like at the age he is now, maybe could do it. So
so
that's kind of like those are like some alternate ones. But yeah. So now we are on to our final 2, and for me, I think it's the greatest friendship ever put to screen. Like the number 1 greatest of all time between Sam and Frodo. So we'll go with Sam first, just because I think that they're like ultimately the Lord of the Rings is Frodo's story. So I feel like we got to cap it up with Frodo, but we'll go Sam next. Let's see. Let me find my Sam video that I have. This one. Well, so like both of these are like quite a bit longer, so I may end up cutting them off, but we'll see. Especially the Frodo one. And the Frodo one's 9 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to go 9 minutes, but yeah, yeah. So maybe half that, but yeah. So here we go.
Confound it all, Samwise Gamgee!
There and back again. A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins and The Lord of the Rings by Frodo Baggins. You finished it.
There's room for a little more.
What did you hear? Speak!
Nothing important. That is, I heard a good deal about a ring and a Dark Lord and something about the end of the world, but this is it. Please, Mr. Gandalf, sir, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me in anything unnatural.
Perhaps not. I've thought of a better use for you.
Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me. If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
Mr. Frodo, I'm all right. But you're not, Mr. Frodo. I'm here to help you. I promised Gandalf that I would.
Stop it! Leave him alone!
You can't help me, Sam. Not this time.
The one place in Middle-earth we don't want to see any closer. The one place we're trying to get to. Sam! Down! Sam! He's trying to trick us!
It's insane, my precious, my love.
There's not left in him but lies and deceit.
Kill him!
It's the ring he wants. It's all he cares about.
That's the Hobbit's heartbeat!
I heard it from his own mouth! He makes the murderer!
You can't help me anymore.
You don't mean that.
Go home.
What are you waiting for? Frodo! That's for Frodo! Just let it go! For the Shire! And that's for my old gaffer! Not alone! Frodo! Go back, Sam! Going to Mordor alone! Of course you are! And I'm coming with you! Sam! Take my hand! It's me! It's your Sam! Don't you let go! By rights, we shouldn't even be here. But we are. I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. I don't mean to. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo.
Remember what Bilbo used to say?
The ones that really matter.
It's a dangerous business, Frodo.
Going out your door, you step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? Oh, Sam, how could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened?
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you.
But in the end, it's only a passing thing. This shadow. Even darkness must pass.
Nothing ever dampens your spirits, does it, Sam?
A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer.
I'm glad to be with you, Samwise Gamgee. I'm glad you're with me. Here at the end of all things. I wonder if people will ever say, let's hear about Frodo in the Ring. And they'll say, yes, it's one of my favorite stories. Frodo was really courageous, wasn't he, Dad? The last pages are for you, Sam.
Those were the stories that stayed with you. Even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going. Because they were holding on to something. There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
You left out one of the chief characters. Samwise the Brave. I want to hear more about Sam.
Samwise the Brave. I'm back.
I feel like all you needed was the speech from Return of the King. I can carry it for you. I can carry you.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Going forward, I'm gonna be able to edit the clips a little shorter because I'm gonna,
that was the best one. Sam's my favorite. That was just like, oh,
same here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Sam's my favorite character too. But that doesn't give you just like all the feels and just so good. And I've met like a good chunk of this cast. I met Sean Astin. I met Elijah Wood. They're really cool, especially Sean Astin. Well, actually, both of them. Like they're both really good actually. Because I got an extended time with Elijah Wood because when I was getting my photo off, the camera wasn't working for like a few minutes, so we were just sitting there talking, which is kind of cool. But
that is cool. That was like me with Ashley Eckstein. She literally was like stayed over like late after all the other celebrities left, just so she could get photographs and pictures and autographs and all that stuff with her fans. So she was like the last few people there. She just chatted with us for like 7 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Just sitting there like just talking with us. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Which on like not to go off on a tangent, but like I always wondered what it would be like if she would have played Ahsoka in the live action series. I don't know. It could have been cool.
It would have been better.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll go to our casting. So we'll start with mine. And this is one where like I had kind of a harder time with Sam too, but when I thought of one actor in particular, I kind of just like stopped there. I was like, I can't even think of anyone that's even close though. It would even like fit because Sean Astin, like he always does these kind of real heartfelt characters, Rudy, and he does like he's been in some Christian movies and stuff, but I
want to see The Shift with Sean Astin. That actually looks interesting.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, like it's from Angel Studios, but actually looks pretty good with what's the main guy who's like a character actor. He's in Angels in the Outfield and like whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Neil like McDonough or like Neil's something like that. But
yeah, he's really
yeah,
good.
but for my pick though, I went with one that's been like within the last like about 10 years or so has like really made a big presence, and he's like shooting up the list to become an A-list actor. But I went with Taron Egerton. So with my pick, so I think that like he can play like the like real tough guy, but he can play like a real kind of goofball. If you watch like Eddie the Eagle, he can play kind of like a nerdy kind of just like kind of sweet guy, and like and then he does stuff where he can sing. He does stuff where like it's a pretty wide range, like, and then he can do action. He can do like a lot of different things, and I can just see him like being like a companion next to somebody, because I feel like yeah, he's a household name to us, but like to like the like casual audience, like maybe they may not be as like recognizable right when you first like see him. So yeah, I went with Taron Egerton for mine, and then here's what the AI did for Taron Egerton as Sam. You can kind of see a little bit that it looks pretty good, I think. So yeah. But Wolf, who do you have for your Sam?
All right, I'm about to drop the mic on this entire round, guys. I'm
right.
sorry, y'all
do it.
lost. Just throw in the towel while you can, because this was one of the easiest ones I did, and the reason why is because if you've ever watched Game of Thrones, John Bradley is Samwise Gamgee. So literally, he is Samwise Gamgee in that show. He to Jon Snow is the Samwise to Jon Snow. Like literally, like and he could, in the way that he sells lines, I could be like, I wasn't going to keep it. I was just gonna, like, you know, like the way that like John Bradley speaks would sell that line perfectly, or the please don't let me, Mr. Gandalf, or sir, and all this stuff. And he's like, the way that he can do that, but like that was perfect. He's already on the paunchy side, and we know Sam's kind of on the paunchy side a bit, so that fits too. He's got that will and determination. If you've ever seen, and one thing about Sam is you're surprised by him, because he's this guy who just looks normal and average, but he can like be a badass when he needs to save his friend. He can do what he needs, and like you literally see John Bradley in the show, he kills White Walkers. He stands up to certain people. Like he's got that bravery of Sam. He's got the courageousness of Sam. He's got the heartwarming nature of him that you just love him and want to hug him. And I just feel like he would be able to really get the emotional moments out really, really well for that character. So that's why I went with John Bradley. He's just, to me, the perfect choice for Samwise Gamgee. When I talked to Ross too, and I asked Ross, like, is this a good choice? He's like, yeah, he's already played Samwise Gamgee. So I was like, yeah, that's true.
And also, in Game of Thrones, doesn't he play a character named Sam? I think his character is
literally his name is Samwell Tarly. So it's
right.
So it's literally, he plays
like a similar name.
Sam, so
yeah. Yeah. And then here's a look at the AI for John Bradley as Sam. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. So you can kind of see him there. So
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So there's that. And then Malcolm, who do you have for your Sam?
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones like for me, the person to get Sam needs to be a really good storyteller as well. And yeah, so it's one of those ones that also found this pretty easy for me as well. But he's someone who can be a really badass, like from when he's made appearance in Agents of Shield, and stuff like that. But he's also been a good storyteller as exemplified from a certain filibuster scene in Parks and Rec. I went Patton Oswalt, and it's one of those ones like it's like, once again, just like John Bradley, he is on the bigger side as well, but I think like in his short appearances, like on Agents of Shield, it also shows like he's got the badassness in that and can do what he needs to do as well. So yeah, it's why I went like Patton for this. So yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that if Taron Egerton needed to gain weight for the role, like he would probably do it because I mean Eddie the Eagle, like he wasn't really like an overweight character, but he got that kind of homely looking, kind of nerdy looking thing going on at least. So yeah, but yeah, we can just take a quick minute and do some quick rankings. And this one's actually one of the harder ones for me. I think they're all pretty good picks.
Did you show the AI for Patton?
Oh,
no, I didn't. Yeah,
for Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, here's the AI for Patton Oswalt right there. But kind of did like a younger one. He even did like a little kid-looking one on like up in the left.
I'm not gonna lie. The top left one looks like his appearance from Eternals as Pip the Troll.
Yeah, right. And also, he has a camera. I don't think they had cameras back then, but they just gave him a camera. So kind of interesting.
It's the Peter Parker. The Peter Parker cross with Sam.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so I got mine. So I will say this without getting too much into it. I'm not a huge fan of like Patton Oswalt, some of his politics that he's had, especially during the pandemic. But that's all I'm going to say. I'll stop there. But I still have him as my number one though, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I have him as my number one because like when you said the storytelling aspect, that is kind of true. Like he knows how to tell a story. Even if you listen to a stand-up comedy, because I'm big into stand-up, because like putting his politics aside, I actually am someone who can do that and like still be friends with anyone, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter where you come from, all of that, and like still like enjoy the comedy and that he brings and just like even some of the other roles that he had. Like I kind of like him as the best, like one of the friends in like young adult too. Like I like him in that. But yeah. So and then for my number 2, I have Taron Egerton. That's just would be my number 2 because I can just picture him being like a best friend, kind of like just like tell me what to do and I'll just follow you along and just do whatever you need me to do, kind of guy. So I have John Bradley as number 3, just because I'm not as familiar with him because
how is that? Try to get. Have you watched Game of Thrones? How is that?
I tried to get into Game of Thrones and I watched the first season and I just couldn't get into it. And then I tried to watch the first season a second time because I'm like, maybe there's something that I missed here. Maybe like to be fair, maybe I should have skipped over it and just gone on past that. But like I was just kind of like I couldn't do it. I was just bored by it. Like
because it gets good in season 2. Yeah, if you would have just like watched season 2 next and then
yeah. So yeah, but those are my rankings. But Wolf, what do you have?
That's insane. Because watch Game of Thrones because John Bradley is not only a storyteller in that show, like I'm telling you, he plays Samwise Gamgee. He tells stories in it. He literally has the heart. He's got
that familiar with him,
and it's just like, and so that's why he's easily my number 1. Like, Andy's the height. He's 5'7". Like he's got the good height there. He's got the good age range to play in. And then see, I'm a toss up between Taron Egerton and Patton Oswalt for 2 because the thing is Patton Oswalt is way too old. Like that's the thing is Sam is supposed to be actually in the books. It's described that he's like way younger than Frodo, like way younger than Frodo. So like he's supposed to be pretty young. So because of how young he's supposed to be, I might put Patton Oswalt at 3 and then Taron Egerton at 2. Just because of the age there for Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, sounds fair. And Malcolm, what do you have it ranked?
So just on that note, Patton Oswalt is only 2 years older than Sean Astin is at this current age. So they would have been both around the same age as each other back when Lord of the Rings was being filmed. So
I did not know that. He looks older. I didn't know that was.
I actually just quickly googled it to find out. But
wow.
yeah, I'm not. not familiar with John Bradley, I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So John Bradley's my number 3.
Sorry, we're just not familiar.
But I
literally plays Samwise Gamgee. Y'all are insane. Like, oh my goodness.
I mean, if we're not familiar with certain actor, we can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've never even seen him on screen, so
yeah.
Moonfall. Okay, he was in Moonfall.
Yeah, I never saw Moonfall either. I skipped it.
I watched it. I just don't remember it. So this is gonna be interesting because my number 2 will be Patton Oswalt because and then my number 1 is Taron Egerton.
Ooh, wow!
Just because I think what he exemplifies in Kingsman alone, I think actually he does is a good job of showing that Sam quality. So I don't know how that's going to help with your scoring.
Yeah, so the scoring, I think that it will end up being Taron Egerton. So for Sam, so yep. So our Sam will be Taron.
I'm gonna send the group chat some Samuel Tarly clips today, and then you're gonna regret your decision after that.
Sure, yeah.
And you're gonna be like, "This is Samwise Gamgee." It's like,
we might think after the fact once we familiarize ourselves with it, but
yeah.
But for the next Frodo, because that's the last one that we have. But I'm just gonna play about half of the montage, and for StreamYard, I wish you could kind of skip around because I don't think you can because there's some stuff at the beginning and stuff at the end I'd like to play. So I may share that one with you guys, and if you ever want to watch it on your own time.
I will say the StreamYard used to have a thing. I guess they don't anymore, but they used to have a thing where you could only upload up to 4 minutes or something, or have a video.
Oh yeah,
4 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can do longer. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, here's the Frodo clip.
Frodo, any chance of seeing that old ring of mine again?
It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it. Sorry, Uncle.
Never put it on, for the agents of the Dark Lord will be drawn to its power.
I'm afraid I lost it.
It wants to be found.
How do you pick up the threads of an old life? How do you go on when in your heart you begin to understand there is no going back? There are some things that time cannot mend. This is it. Some hurts that go too deep. If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been. That have taken hold. I will take the ring to Mordor.
9 companions. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yet to have come so far, still bearing the ring, the Hobbit has shown extraordinary resilience to its evil.
It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Pity? It was pity that stayed Bilbo's hand.
But now that I see him, I do pity him.
Put it out, you fools! Put it out!
At all times they feel the presence of the ring.
All right.
They will never stop hunting you.
A bell.
Shall not pass!
Then do I trust?
You must trust yourself. Trust your own strength.
I swore to protect you. Can you protect me from yourself?
I would have gone with you to the end.
Frodo. Where is Frodo?
I let Frodo go.
Then you did what I could not. Frodo's fate is no longer in our hands.
No! Mr. Frodo! Not that way!
You are a ring bearer, Frodo. To bear a ring of power is to be alone.
I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
This task is appointed to you. And if you do not find a way, no one will.
Sam! Then I know what I must do. It's just, I'm afraid to do it.
Even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
Frodo must finish this task alone.
He's not alone. Sam went with him.
Must lead him to her.
I could help a bit. I could carry it for a while. You can't help me anymore.
Started souls are dead.
So sorry, Sam.
I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee.
So sorry.
And I don't mean to. Sam!
10,000 orcs now stand between Frodo and Mount Doom.
We can give Frodo his chance if we keep Sauron's eye fixed upon us.
I can't manage the ring, Sam. There'll be none left for the return journey.
I don't think there will be a return journey, Mr. Frodo.
It's such a weight to carry. Such a weight. I can't recall a taste of food. The sound of water. Touch of grass. No, the fire. I can see him. With my waking eyes.
The ring drove your brother mad!
Frodo? Then let us be rid of it. Once and for all. I can't do this, Sam.
All right, well, I'll call it there because it goes on for quite a while. But yeah, spoiler, like they do make it up the hill and get the ring into Mount Doom and into the lava. But yeah, spoilers. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do our picks for Frodo Baggins. So I mean, arguably the main character of this.
Pretty much.
But yeah, let's see. Let me bring it. So for my pick, like this one was a little tough for me too. Also because I think Malcolm has the winning pick. Like if I'm being honest, you'll see when he says it. But because that's the one that I would have gone with, but he already picked it. So, but I tried to go with someone that like kind of looked the part and someone who's done a lot of like I don't know, a lot of pretty interesting roles, and he's still, I think, got a lot of stuff in him. He's but yeah, I'm gonna go with Alex Wolff for my pick. So because he's been in stuff like Hereditary, Pig, Old, like and I feel like he like if they were to put him in a role like a Frodo role, I feel like he could really do it and really like he really has the like really good acting chops and could really like be that kind of person that's like carrying a ring and that's a huge burden that like brings him through all kinds of emotional strife and toil and all that stuff. So yeah, I went with Alex Wolff for mine. And here's the AI of Alex Wolff as Frodo. So not too bad. I mean, it looks pretty similar. So yeah. But there's that. But Wolf, who do you have for yours?
All right, so you can pick whichever route you want to go, whether you want this actor to be younger, because that would fit, or if you want to get technical, if they're making a Lord of the Rings for today, apparently Frodo is 51 years old. He is actually he is the oldest of all the hobbits, actually. So other than Bilbo, obviously, but other than Bilbo, he's the oldest of the main hobbits. So that's one sort of problem that hardcore Lord of the Ring fans have had, is they're like, Elijah Wood looked like a baby. Like that's the thing, is they're like, he was supposed to be much older and stuff like that. So so if you wanted to go that route, you can also go with any age of James McAvoy. That's my pick that I'm going with. And
earlier hair.
and the reason I'm picking him too is, one, he's for sure got the acting chops, because if you think about it, like when Frodo is going crazy because of the ring, he could easily, and more than any of the actors I can think of, he's got the perfect example of being crazy in a moment and then calming right down because of Split and Glass and stuff like that, and realizing like what he's done and taking a step back and stuff like that. Like he's got that kind of an acting performance where he can go from one crazy, like, you know, like way to being subdued and calming himself. So he is to me, I feel like, out of any actor, probably the perfect choice for a Frodo Baggins. If you want an older one, you can do that. If you want a younger one, I still feel like he would fit the part really well. And so I'm going with James McAvoy.
Yeah, something that I never knew that he's supposed to be like about 50 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. Yeah. But yeah. So here's the AI of James McAvoy as Frodo. You can kind of see it.
Oh yeah, especially the bottom left one. I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, not too bad. But Malcolm, who do you have for your pick for Frodo?
So this was the one that came straight to mind instantly. Because there's no one perfect to play Frodo than Elijah Wood. Oh, sorry, I mean Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, right.
Because
just so similar.
Just within the last few years, he's shown his range of acting in very different movie roles, whether it is going crazy like in Guns Akimbo, or just going all weird at horns and that. And it's just one of those ones like,
or being a farting corpse.
It's just been one of the long running jokes that Elijah Wood and Daniel Radcliffe look alike. And this is one I don't care if I don't win this round, because I was, when I decided I was going to do this, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with this and see how it goes. So I think Daniel Radcliffe could be a good Frodo. Like, he's shown he could lead a really good franchise in Harry Potter, and I think he can do the same.
Yeah, and some kind of late night talk show clip. I can't remember if it's Jimmy Fallon or if it was Jay Leno. Which one it is? Probably Jimmy Fallon. He's kind of more in his era, but like where they're like doing some different memes of like back and forth between Elijah Wood and I didn't recognize, but it's Elijah Wood that's actually on the show as a guest, but then they're showing how he looks like Daniel Radcliffe, and people get mistaken for that all the time. So yeah, but yeah, and then the AI for Daniel Radcliffe as Frodo. I mean, you can clearly like see it.
Is that really? I always just made clips of Frodo from Lord of the Rings.
No, that's actually AI. So yeah,
wow.
But looks pretty close though. So yep, they look very similar. So, but yeah, I think I've already got my rankings down, so you guys can maybe. We need a second.
I've got my rankings down as well.
Yeah. So for number 3, I just pick Alex Wolff, just because like I think that he can look the part, but like I maybe like to see just a little more from him. But I mean, I've seen like a good decent amount, but even so, I still think the other 2 picks are better. So my number 2, I have James McAvoy, and like he would be great because it's like very nitpicky for me as far as like which one would be better, because I feel like, I mean, when I think about it on paper, like I feel like James McAvoy would have the better acting chops, and like he's a phenomenal actor that like I'm shocked he hasn't won like an Oscar yet or anything. But I just think that like for the perfect fit though, that just fits it like so well. I think Daniel Radcliffe, like he just looks like like Harry Potter could be Frodo and then vice versa. You just take away the glasses and like you have Frodo. So for me at least. So yeah. So I got Daniel Radcliffe for number 1. But Wolf, you got?
Yeah. Oh man, this is hard. For me, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go number 3. Obviously, I think is going to be Alice Wolf because I think this is between James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe for me.
Yeah.
But then number 2. Okay, so number 2, I'm gonna switch things up a bit, I guess, and just go Daniel Radcliffe, just because, like, with James McAvoy, you've been able to see in one movie just alone, not like just, a separate movie and stuff like that, but in one movie, like, the way he's able to dial it as an actor from being emotional and you feel for him, and then just like the way that you feel like that, and then he can just be crazy on you or something like that, and then you take it back and like regret and have that remorse and stuff like that, like he just did that and all that stuff, like the way that he would be able to get those emotions of Frodo out, I feel would be something really fascinating to me. So I think I'll still stick with James. I don't know though, that's hard.
It's hard. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Malcolm, what are your rankings?
Frodo? Yeah, my number 3 I went with Alex Wolff. Like, I haven't seen sort of much of his range in that to sort of comfortably say he'll be a good Frodo. My 2 I went James McAvoy. And it's this was probably tough because I do see James McAvoy being a good Frodo. But ultimately, I just want to stick with my own pick of Daniel Radcliffe, just because I do like. It's one of those ones like, well, yes, we've seen in one movie on how quickly James McAvoy can change, but with Daniel Radcliffe, we've seen in his whole career like how quickly he can sort of change between roles, like, and as well as I think, like, even going from a fighting corpse to one thing to being a crazy gun-toting madman in Guns Akimbo, and then of course you got the Harry Potters. Like I think it just works too perfectly. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm good with that choice because it's really, really good pick.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones like at one point I was going to pick Rupert Grint for Sam, but like there was that was like I'm almost going to be putting a lot of Harry Potter people in here. It's like I didn't get to say.
Yeah, well, like Daniel Radcliffe, I've been really impressed with like his choices, like over the last like few years, because yeah, like he even did like the Weird Al Yankovic movie. He did that. Like he's done some villainous roles, like Lost City. He was kind of a villain, and I think like Now You See Me Too, he was a villain. And then he played Igor and like the Victor Frankenstein with James McAvoy, so the two are right there. But yeah, and then Swiss Army Man, and like there's a lot. He did horror with Horns and When the Woman in Black. I mean, and then I like what he does with Miracle Workers, the TV show. He has a lot of humor and comedy, but sadly that show just got canceled. I found out. I was hoping for one more season, but yeah, so yeah, because they did a really cool like Mad Max kind of like / Terminator kind of like post-apocalyptic that season, but it will be Daniel Radcliffe as our Frodo Baggins. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, and
another one I want to throw out for Frodo Baggins, by the way. When I was doing research, I heard someone mention Asa Butterfield. That's another one too that is that I could see for looks wise when it comes to how he looks. Yeah.
I saw the same thing too, and like I was like I'm not sure about that. Like I probably need to watch more of his movies. I'm not like crazy familiar, but I've seen like enough. Yeah, but
so fun fact: one person that actually auditioned for the role of Frodo in Lord of the Rings was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, but he was.
Yeah.
I could see a younger Jake Gyllenhaal, like maybe like October Sky, like kind of time, like that, maybe being the a Frodo. Yeah. So. But yeah. Go ahead.
The other thing I was going to throw out is going back to Aragorn. Nicolas Cage actually received an offer for Aragorn at one stage.
Oh wow!
Oh really? Wow.
But declined due to family obligations at the time. So
wow. So he was going to. So that's funny. That we've had several actors that we've picked, or like they were or not like.
Yeah.
We had one actor that actually went through, but then we had several actors like on the short lists.
Yeah,
that were like
that almost played it. Yeah, the roles. Yeah, but yeah, I was just gonna recap it. Just everyone that we picked. Try my best to kind of scroll through and find out all the pictures. So for our Boromir, we had Michael Galvin. So that was our New Zealand pick for Boromir. Then you go to Mary, and we had James Phelps was our official pick for Mary. So we got James Phelps in there. We got of course Pippin being Oliver Phelps. So we got the twins in there. Then we have our Saruman was Jeremy Irons, which is a pretty inspired pick. I think because he was my first alternate that I thought of. So then for Gimli, we had Brian Blessed in there. So for Gimli, which like that picture alone just looks like Gimli. Yeah, and then for the Legolas, one I would have never thought of off the top of my head, but after seeing it, like him in the AI and stuff, the Hugh Jackman pick, I think that worked pretty well. Then we also had Aragorn. Our Aragorn was Russell Crowe for Aragorn. We had our Gollum pick, which was Mark Hamill. Let's see, there he is, right there. Yeah. Then for our Gandalf, we had Sean Connery. Let's see, right here is Sean Connery in there. And then for our Sam, we had Taron Egerton as Samwise Gamgee. And then for last but certainly not least, we had Frodo Baggins. We had Daniel Radcliffe in there, right there, who like dang there looks just like Elijah Wood if he were to grow that same exact beard and like goatee thing. That like I think that like he looked pretty similar, I'd say. So yeah.
I totally didn't speak most of my picks to be.
Yeah, right. Well, I got two of them in there, so like I'm actually surprised I even got two of them in there. So at least we all got some in there. So yeah.
I think Malcolm still wins by one. I think he's got 5. I've got 4, and then
I have 2. I think.
2, yeah.
So. Yeah, and then I was just gonna see like if anyone has any honorable mention. I have a few kind of that I had for
I'm actually going to head out.
Oh sure, yeah. You want to plug anything real quick?
Yeah, I mean you can find me on Table Productions where I host Ranking Movie Sunday. This week we're doing Eddie Murphy movies.
Okay.
But you can also find me popping up from time to time in the Movie Hero Network, Full Metal, all that good stuff.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Malcolm. It was a lot of fun. So we'll see you later. Yeah. But yeah, I was just gonna run down a few of my honorable mentions that I had because I had a few alternates for Frodo. I had Timothy Chalamet. I thought maybe he could do it. Possibly that could be one, or possibly even Tom Holland. I had Tom Holland as like a backup one, maybe. But and then I already mentioned my Gandalf honorable mentioned earlier. I had Christopher Plummer and Sam Neill in there. For Aragorn, I had some interesting ones. I actually thought of Daniel Day-Lewis maybe could be like an Aragorn possibly, and then also Henry, and then Henry Cavill because he did a Geralt over from what's it called? Now I'm spacing on it, but the other one it's on Netflix though. He did that one.
Oh yeah.
And The Witcher, yeah.
Witcher,
yeah, he did that, and then I had for a like pretty young Mary. The actor that his name's Thomas Brody Sangster. So if I show you a picture, like he would work, but he's like pretty young. Let's see. But you'd probably recognize him. Let's see, Thomas Brody Sangster. Got him pulled up. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let's see. Give me a second. It's right here. Here you go. So you can see him there. That's Thomas Brody Sangster.
Oh, that.
I can't remember what.
I know who you're talking. I'm surprised he's 33 years old.
What he's actually
been
in, I know, right? Yeah, he's 33 years old.
He's 33. That's insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's in the Maze Runner. He played Newt from the Maze Runner series, and then he was in Nanny McPhee. He was in just a few of those. So yeah, but
nice.
And then let's see if I had any other ones. For Pippin, I kind of thought of like Pippin, where I had my George McKay pick, so I had that one. And then also Barry Keoghan, I thought maybe. So that
George McKay I had for Mary, because when I watched 1917, I was like conflicting between the two of them because George McKay also had the "you never think, do you? You never think it," and all that stuff. He had those moments and stuff like that, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true."
Yeah. And also, as an alternate Boromir, I had Liam Neeson in there, possibly.
Oh yeah, okay. So that was an honorable mention I had for a Boromir, and he was also an honorable mention I had for a Gandalf. If he had a long beard and gray hair, and it was gray beard, gray hair, I could see him as a Gandalf as well.
That is a good call, yeah, for that one. And then also for my alternate Gimli pick, I had David Harbour of like Stranger Things, maybe like they made him look short, you know.
Oh yeah, I had as my alternates. I had Mark Addy from Game of Thrones, and then I also had the guy who plays the Hound in Game of Thrones. I forget his name, but he played the Hound on Game of Thrones. He also looks
okay.
Yeah. So I was like,
those
are two.
I also had for and then also I had for an alternate for Gimli, I had Bill Bailey, who's like a British comedian that kind of has the longer hair and like a beard kind of thing, and he's short. So I had him in there. And then for some alternate Legolas, I had Ewan McGregor in there for like a possible Legolas. And then also a Dev Patel, if you wanted to switch up the race a little bit, maybe a Dev Patel could maybe work, you know. But
Austin, I liked the pick of Austin Butler. Yeah, that was also one of my honorable mentions for
that one's good.
Legolas.
Then my only other honorable mention I had for some Saruman picks, I had Jude Law in there for a possibility, maybe Bill Skarsgård or like Mark Strong possibly. So there's like a couple that I had in there. I thought maybe for like an outside, maybe Zachary Quinto, because in that show Heroes, when he plays Sylar, he puts a pretty good villain in that. So yeah, but yeah, those are just
some of the other honorable mentions I had was for Sam. I think it was for Sam. I had I believe his name is Will Poulter. He's also in the he's also in the Maze Runner. Yeah. I almost went with him for Sam at one point. I was thinking about him. For Gollum, I almost went with I'm trying to remember. I think it's Frank Welker was his name, which was I forget the one that played like he's like the voice of Megatron, and he plays like the voice
the voice actor. I think I actually met him at a convention once. Yeah,
I met him at the convention once too, and I was like, I almost had him on there at one point because he can play those like menacing voices really well as well at some point. like sometimes and such. And then, yeah, when it comes to Aragorn, Michael Fassbender actually was an honorable mention for me for Aragorn.
Yeah, right.
I was
Nice.
I was thinking about Michael Fassbender for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are. Other than there were some of the honorable mentions I shared with you too. So.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
other than those, the only ones I was, I think, which one was it? I was like, I think the only one I was just full up straight on. And also, by the way, I also considered the Charles Curtis Chapman as Sam too. That was another honorable mention I had for Sam actually, because I could see it in like the look and such. But
yeah,
then the only one I think I just straight up was like, yep, that's my this guy. I didn't even think twice about it. Was probably Jeremy Irons.
Oh yeah.
That's Saruman. I was like, yep, no, that's my Saruman. I was like,
yeah. I had one kind of outside pick that I thought of maybe Doug Jones for Gollum, but he's really tall though, so like I don't know, like how well he would be able to pull it off. But he does a lot of creature work though. He's in like The Shape of Water, and he's in Star Trek Discovery as like some kind of alien guy and stuff. So
I mean, to be fair though, any character that's playing Gollum is obviously going to be taller than Gollum because Gollum's like super short. So
yeah, true, and also he's in Hellboy playing Abe Sapien, I think.
Yeah, he played Abe Sapien in that.
Yeah,
he's in the What We Do in the Shadows TV show. He's in the.
Oh yeah, that's right. He plays one of the like the really creepy looking vampire, like the older guy.
Yeah. so like he's and then he was in Star Trek Discovery as well, which is and then Star Trek show. So yeah, he's done a lot of this kind of stuff, and he would probably do like if he was to do Gollum, he'd probably do it with practical effects, like you talked about with like Johnny Depp. He'd probably try to find a way to do Gollum with practical effects. Oh, that's another one I wanted to mention. So there was another honorable mention I had for Gollum at one point, which is another voice actor. He's also voiced the Joker before too, but he's voiced several characters. And I was thinking about picking Alan Tudyk at one point.
I thought about him for one too. I wanted to put Alan Tudyk. For some reason, I had him in it, but you have to go with like a very young Alan Tudyk. But I had him in for Pippin for some reason. I don't know if that's the best choice for Alan Tudyk, but I don't know where you would put him. But
yeah, I would have probably put him as Gollum just because I've seen him play like he played Joker and Clayface in the Harley Quinn series, so I've seen him be able to play like the two like different outrageous voices, and he's done a lot of voice acting in his career too. That would be a fun. We should do that as like one day as either a tier ranker or a tournament fight. Is take people who are like dominantly known as voice actors and like have voice actors compete against each other. So you can have like people like Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Troy Baker, Nolan North, people like that, and have them all go up against each other as like all these popular voice actors. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, totally. Because we've actually been talking about that. I know Brian Nussbaum's big into voice actors and stuff, so he wants to do it. But but for some reason I don't know why I can't remember the name of the show. But I met Alan Tudyk. He was with Nathan Fillion, that sci-fi show that they did. Serenity. Serenity.
Yeah, Serenity.
And then what's the TV show called?
There's one he also did called Resident Alien too.
Yeah, he did that one too. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's probably gonna do it for this super size. We went about as long as the extended version of Return of the King, but that's fine.
Well, we went about as long as the theatrical version of because this is 3 hours and 25 minutes.
Right
What it says. So it's like the extended cut of Return of the King is like 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for as long as the theatrical. But so people sat through that, so maybe you can. I don't know, but Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. So, but yeah, this was a lot of fun though. So, and I was gonna look really quick what we have next up because we have a little list of what we want. Some other episodes of Recast we want to do. Let's see, I got it here. So the next one we want to do is probably going to be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We thought about doing that one. We got a few others on the list though. We got Jurassic Park on there. We figured that's one, and then we got to do some Tarantino, so Pulp Fiction or The Hateful Eight.
Oh, you definitely have to reach out to me for whenever you do Tarantino ones, because
yeah, for sure.
I literally have like just I do that as a hobby of mine, just recasting Tarantino movies just to see.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and then we'll eventually do Hook just for Ross. We'll have Ross on the episode to recast his favorite movie. So yeah, we got a little list going, but yeah, I think that'll do it for us though. So and we'll just do some quick plugs. Wolf, where can we find you, or what do you have going on?
So yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Mega Movies, where I will be recording here soon, either tonight or tomorrow. I'll have to reach out to Ross and see what he can do, but we'll probably do a quick episode of Awards Roundtable. We'll talk about just some of the awards that's happened, such like that. Nice. And then also coming up this month, I will be doing and you can be free to join if you would like, because I would love to get like a party on for it, and but do a Return of the King extended edition watch party for its 20th anniversary. So all of us get together and we just watch the Return of the King together and such. That'd be
nice. That'd be
one.
awesome.
Yeah, so it would be a long one, but it'd be worth it.
Yeah,
that'd
be worth it.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. So
for that, I just have to set up some kind of setup where I can sit in like a recliner or something. For that.
Just enjoy it. Have your snacks on you. Make
right.
Stuff like that. Just because it's like going to be such a long one. But yeah, that'll be really fun. And so I have that coming up, and of course my birthday's coming up, so I'll be doing something on my birthday. And if you ever want to do the idea I had of like recasting all the Lord of the Rings characters on my birthday, that would be something kind of
we could even do it because this episode went kind of long just with what we have, but we could even do like a two-parter maybe, and just do like
that.
Like half and half, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, cool. Well, sounds good. Yeah, I'll just give a few little quick plugs because we'll have tournament fights tomorrow. We're doing best musicals, so we're going to be doing our musical episode. Which I'm not a huge musical guy, but like I'm going to advocate for a few, handful of them that I do like, and then I'm going to try to watch maybe 2 of them tomorrow if I can, because my work's really slow during the holidays, so I have extra time to do that. But we'll have Jacob Barber on there. He's a big musicals guy, so he's been kind of spearheading it. And then Austin will be sitting this one out because he didn't want to be the Debbie Downer, being like, yeah, that movie's not for me. That one's not for me. Like, screw this movie, screw that movie, whatever, So he's like, yeah, I'll just sit out that one. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm up for the movie musicals one.
I have you on as a backup.
Oh no, I'm talking about Austin. Is that what you're referring to, or?
Oh yeah. So let's say
No, because I know that like he hates musicals. I think even worse than you do. I think. Like, he's like, no, like at all.
Yeah, like for me, there's at least like a handful, maybe like 10 musicals that I really do like. But then other than that, I'm kind of picky on them. So it just depends. But
yeah.
But I'm more someone that would want to go see it like a musical live than watch it on a screen like that. Just kind of how I roll. But and then on Friday we'll get into some Christmas stuff. Finally, we'll be doing our best Christmas / holiday adjacent movie. So like not actual Christmas movies, just one where it's like either briefly mentioned or just there for like a couple scenes, or something like that. But the movie doesn't really like focus on Christmas. So we got a whole list that we came up with. Initially, I had a bunch of Christmas horror movies on the list that I wanted to include, but then Austin was like, no, like if it's an actual Christmas movie, even if it has horror in it, I got to defend the honor of the horror fans and say that that's actually actually a Christmas movie, like stuff like Black Christmas or like I don't know, like
yeah, but you can have stuff like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You can have stuff like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on there, and stuff like that.
Or like Iron Man 3 will be on there. We'll have like Trading Places on there. We'll have Die Hard. We'll have some of those like Christmas adjacent ones,
Bro, so, when I was studying stuff for like, because I was gonna do like a Thanksgiving ranking of all the best Thanksgiving movies or something like that. And when I did research, people were including like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 because it has a Thanksgiving scene, and like and like funny people just because it has one scene of Thanksgiving, and I'm like, that's not okay. If that's the case, then let's call Spencer a Christmas movie, because Spencer has literally a Christmas tree in the background several times, or like maybe twice or so, because it's like takes place around Christmas, and it's like, all right, it's like,
yeah, we were maybe considering for like a Christmas adjacent one, or we want to do Christmas / holiday adjacent. So maybe having Spider-Man in there, or having what's the one that you guys watched that had Ed O'Neill in it, that Thanksgiving movie, that like
Dutch. That's a great one. That's why I asked you if you saw Dutch, because I was like saying, I should bring Jordan onto the stream, because I thought you like
I've never seen it, but I love Ed O'Neill, so that's one I gotta check out sometime. But yeah.
Sure.
And then just a few more things we have coming up. The week after we'll be doing our so we had to flip flop the two episodes just from Tuesday and Friday. So anyone who might be tuning in, we're going to be doing our greatest bands of all time according to Rolling Stone a week from Tuesday, and it's going to be a tier rank. We're literally just going to take the top 100, even if it's some obscure band that, like, Rolling Stone always likes to throw in just a few kind of like lesser known bands into the mix, and so they're all going to be there, and then we'll just vote for the ones we think are the best of those, because we want to do some music. And then we'll be getting into our Marvel episode that'll be our best non-Marvel and DC comic book movies. So we already did DC and Marvel, so we get into stuff like the Phantom or the Shadow, or
nice. It'll be getting to that point soon where you can do like an actual tournament fight of MCU movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're getting there.
Yeah.
Wait until 2025. I think the lineup for 2025 is going to be like about 10 or 15 superhero movies all in 1 year from all these studios. I'm like, geez, because they all got pushed back. So
because Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie coming out next year.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty interesting. But and then we did some seen and heard trivia. We'll be doing a Christmas episode that Austin will be hosting, because I'm a big Christmas movie guy, so I'll be competing. So that'll be on Sunday, the December 10th, and then the following week on Sunday, December 17th, will be our free for all. So we're doing a huge giant free for all, which I can't remember if I have you on the list for that, Wolf, but I might. But if you want to compete in some trivia, it'll be on a Sunday. So we'll be doing that. And we got some surprise guests for that. I'll just say that might be a couple big names. I'll just tease that. I can't tell you exactly who they are, but there's some people that are related. So I'll even say one that we're not going to keep as a surprise. We're going to have Paige for Brady from the Schmodown. She'll be there, and then there'll be some people maybe related to her in that realm that might be surprise people. So just tune in for that. So it'll be fun. And then I think that's pretty much it. We'll be doing Wheel of Movies next week. We won't be doing one this week because we just barely had an episode where we did a deep dive on Casablanca for Chris Scott, the Casablanca kid. It was his birthday this last week, so we pulled an audible and we did Casablanca, so you can go watch that. That's up on the channel right now, and then we'll do another We Love Movies a week from this Wednesday, which we've been thinking about maybe pulling out an audible and doing a Christmas movie, but it would have to be one that's on somebody's top 128 list, which I have two. I have Home Alone and I have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on my list, but there may be some other ones on other people's lists, so we'll kind of see how it goes.
Which by the way, we have to also plan my top 128 here soon too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll be doing that soon too. So, like, for those who've only done a 64, which I think it's just you and Chris Scott, but yeah, we'll do those. And then we've got a couple people that
and Ross. Ross has done a 64. He needs to do a.
Oh yeah, Ross too. Yeah. So the three of you guys, and then we got some first timers doing their 64 coming up. We have Zachary Shelton will be doing his, and then also Maria Hammond will be doing hers. So we got those coming up too. So yeah, but that's pretty much everything we have going on. So yeah, just tune in tomorrow for tournament fights. It'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and yeah, that's gonna do it. So yeah, but thanks for doing this recast for the Lord of the Rings. That was a lot of fun. So yeah,
it was. I did much better than I did on Aliens, which makes me happy because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So I'm glad I was able to get some picks in there and honor my favorite franchise and you know, this is truly just the greatest achievement in cinematic history, in my opinion. So
it is. Like it's really something special. Like when you really watch and pay attention to all the little details and the nuances and the things the characters do and say, and the story and the like how big the world is and like all the practical effects and
there's so many more characters that we like couldn't even get to, like Bilbo.
Yeah,
there's Eowyn, Arwen, like
just Galadriel. There's what's the elf king? I forget. Like
Elrond, like King Theoden.
There's there's even more. There's what's the guy? John Noble. He plays the other guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah, there's a lot of them though. So
like a ton. And if you ever do one for like the Hobbit movies too, because that's also doable, then that would be one to.
We do that one also, yeah, for sure, yeah. We'll have a long list, so yeah, we're always open to ideas. But so if anyone has any ideas for any recast, it has to be something fairly popular with like a pretty decent ensemble cast with at least 5 like big characters that you could recast. Because if we only have 5, we could do 4 or 5 people on the panel. But with a cast like the Lord of the Rings, we only want to have 3 people on.
Would you say Fight Club has enough of an ensemble to do one?
You could probably get at least 5 or 6, something like that. So yeah,
because that's like my second favorite movie of all time. So I might.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, my number one. If you ever do something on the movie Logan, like I don't know if that has quite enough. It's got like 3 or 4 or something like that. So I don't know.
Because you've got the 2 villains in there. You've got the one guy, I forget his name, that lives with Logan. Then you got Logan, Patrick Stewart, and then Daphne Keane, and those are like
yeah. There's not a ton. We could definitely do one for an X-Men though. You could do that for sure. So,
most definitely.
Yeah, so we'll definitely get into some superhero ones. Probably the first one we'll probably tackle is maybe like Avengers or something like that. So yeah, but I think that's gonna do it for us tonight. So thanks again, and for Malcolm Lay, for Michael Wolfman Wyndham, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.